All Wings Considered is brought to you by nerve toxins.
Out of my way. I'm a big important man with big important places to go.
You've got some nerve. Good thing I've got some nerve toxins.
Ah!
Now here's Ben and Jason.
Hey everybody, welcome to another thrilling episode of All Wings Considered, the Information Superhighway's only weekly live Wing Commander playing video program.
I tried to guess where you were going with the super thing. Totally different off-ramp.
Well, guess what? I never know where I'm going, so it's always an adventure.
I thought you were going to say we were the super highway of Wing Commander, but instead you said we were on the super highway. The information superhighway. Which is a really weird way to describe the internet now, looking back at it. Now what is it? We're like a 45 lane something?
It's like the hurt other people for no reason machine.
I don't know. Well, that's a terrible line of jokes. Let's go somewhere else.
Oh, right. I'm Loaf, and I'm going to talk about Wing Commander, and you are...
Jason, or Dunderdoll, I guess. I forgot my own name for a second, and I'm going to listen to you talk...
There.
Yes, it is right below me. And I'm going to listen to you talk about Wing Commander, and add my 2 cents.
And, of course, we're going to be playing some Wing Commander,
A lot of Wing Commander
What is on our docket tonight?
I believe we're starting off with the Loki series on the 3DO, which would be interesting to see how it matches up with the PC version.
That's right. Last week we played the PC Loki, the 3 missions of Wing Commander 3.
That took us a long time.
It did take us a long time. Hopefully it will not take us that long.
Let's see. I'm curious to see how these... they've got to be grinds, so I'm curious to see how they shake it up for you.
Yeah, it'll be good to see.
Like 10 destroyers.
20 destroyers, 30 destroyers. Who knows how many destroyers?
Who knows? Biggest amount of destroyers ever.
And then we will be rejoining, finally, for the new year, our Righteous Fire campaign.
Yep, we're getting righteous.
We left at Sandra Goodin's doorstep, so we're going to play her first set of Confed missions in the game, which are actually optional, but
we're
all the time in the world to talk about a game from 1993.
You got somewhere else to be in Righteous Fire?
Nope. And then most excitingly for me, and no one else in the world in any way, we have a minor grail that I've located. We talked about it was going to come, and it has come. And
it is here.
We'll show it to you in the cargo bay
right now.
It's emanating its positive energy to us.
I know, I haven't even asked to look at it, but
okay.
I see it though.
It's over here.
No, I want to see my expression should be captured just like the world's, you know? Maybe I can get turned into a meme.
Wow, I really did sell this thing. No, we'll be doing all that shortly, so...
Yes.
Before we start talking Wing Commander, how was your week?
Pretty good. Nothing major exciting happened, really.
All right.
Reading a book about Operation Unthinkable.
Okay.
That's about it.
Understandable.
Yep.
Yep. I don't think anything too exciting happened to me either.
I mean, we watched like one okay and one good Tom Hanks movie.
That's right. We did.
Like,
we had our Tom Hanks themed meals. Yeah. We do Tom Hanks Tuesdays. We were going through his.
Now it's Tom Hanks Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tom Hanks Club. Yeah.
It's also Tuesdays.
You got mail, which was perfectly pleasant.
Could have left on red.
Yeah, could have been an hour shorter.
Yep.
And Toy Story 2, which is. Fantastic.
Which is a fun movie, yeah.
And Allie put us together a spread of like New York sandwich materials and potato salad and so on. So that was how it was themed to that. Yes. And next week is Green Mile, so I guess we're
not doing MREs.
Dead Mouse or something.
We're not doing MREs. I don't care.
That's not an army one. That's the
I don't care.
Prison one.
It's basically close enough to prison food.
I think we probably got through most of Tom Hanks' military service at this point.
I think you are correct.
Anyways,
yeah. So
let's talk about some of the Wing Commander news this week. We don't have too many slideshows, but there are 5.
So less than half a dozen. So that's actually not a lot.
Yeah. So let's zoom over to the afterward slideshow.
Ooh, you can have whatever his last meal was. There you go. Then we could be really morbid and choose our favorite last meal of people who have been executed. That would be a messed up thing to do. Anyways, let's burn right past that idea.
All right. Well, we wanted to start off this week by showing off some of the cool fan stuff that has been posted at the CIC in the last couple of days. Starting with some artwork from everybody's favorite, Clavs. And is that how you pronounce his name when you say it in real? I don't.
You're asking me who pronounces AD's name Ad? Clavs.
Anyway, he's
I guess Clavs, yeah.
One of the all-time great Wing Commander fan 3D modelers, and he posted artwork of the Hornet model he's been working on, and then two rendered scenes that are pretty cool. And so right now, here's the Hornet. You wouldn't think that with each passing year we get a more detailed 3D model of the Hornet for the community, but it somehow happens.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the when you put in fans' minds in 1990, here's a blueprint. This is a real spaceship. You're going to get closer and closer to that being a real thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of poisoned us all.
Yeah, it is one that, and I was going to say, because that looks, because I think Howie did one too.
Howie did one that's incredible.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And this is, I guess, the next generation of...
Yeah, incredibleness.
But here, this one you will appreciate.
Here you go.
Bearcat versus Bearcat. And this must have been just, you had to get this in just one frame of a second, because the space fighter goes like 500 kilometers per second. And
I'm just trying to see. It looks almost like a Hellcat, though. But I can't tell. That angle's not the best.
Well, I believe Clavs also professionally renders aircraft. So actually,
I should trust him.
I'm just assuming it's a Bearcat because
I'm looking
because it's a Bearcat in the picture, but it may well be
well, just because looking at how the wing and then the rear fuselage. That's all.
We'll find out whether that's a
Bearcat. I underrated, typically not liked because it's not the greatest to fly with its guns. Mm-hmm. But very unique and beautiful design, though, among Wing Commander ships. It is like the flying wing.
It feels so much like 1996. I don't know if anybody else remembers this. Everyone was around on the Information Superhighway in 1996.
You're really going to keep riding that?
The day the TCU website, Terran Confederation Underground, went from having an Excalibur to having a Bearcat on the logo. That was... that was like the end of this is an epic era for me. Okay,
I remember that. Yeah, because they had the yes. When
that orange fighter was everywhere before Wing 4 came out. So. Mm-hmm. And then it was so hard to find the game itself. But we'll talk about that in a future Bearcat look. Anyway, and here's the other one, which is in rapiers covering an amphibious assault of some sort. So
nice.
Bukartag inspired.
There you go.
Artwork. So.
That's always cool. We don't get enough. I feel like that I would love to see. More novel moments.
To hell with seeing it. I want to play that.
Well, I guess.
Anyway, that's Clav stuff. And meanwhile, on the other end of the detail spectrum is.
No, it wasn't a Corsair, you people. Gull wings. Those are straight. They're saying it. They thought two of them thought it was a Corsair. Okay. You can always tell it has its wings are slightly thinner and the rounded edges or rounded ends, and their gull wing at where they connect to the fuselage.
I'm okay with that. LIF is creating an accurately sized replica of the TCS Victory in From the Depths, which is a kind of a variant of the Minecraft theme, building-y game. And he said that would be on Steam Workshop when it was done. And this actually got a really interesting conversation started on the Discord this week about elevators in Wing Commander because. And you're correct. There's almost no references to elevators on carriers in Wing Commander. In the novels, there's not a space that you notice when you fly through the Victory's Bay.
Yeah.
The only way we know there's one in the Victory is there is one scene in Wing Commander 3 in the aerial system where it opens with a Hellcat being taken down.
Yeah. This is after LIF and I went back and forth because it's like. You don't get a reference of it in False Colors. They talk about it for the Kilrathian things. Mm-hmm. And we were going back and forth for probably a good half an hour. And then Whistler said, hey, just so you guys know, there is a scene, and it's right here. And then you look at it, and it's straight up just the Hellcat on an elevator in one of the side bays, which is what we were debating about, whether the bays were on those side compartments where they did everything, or those are something else. They ended up being both and an elevator all at once, which we'll explore. When we get to False Colors, that'll be a fun thing to explore, looking at both carrier designs. Yeah,
I think even before that, we should probably do a segment on carrier deck operations.
Sure.
What is that guy with the things doing?
What is Surprise Man?
Yeah, so we'll look at that in a future episode too.
Yeah.
Anyway, that got us to talking about the deck structure of the Concordia.
This went all different places with trying to figure it out. We went back and forth. And
the best thing in these sorts of chats is where you get to think about all kinds of Wing Commander. So I brought up the different shots of the Concordia's flight. There are two different areas that appear as cutscenes, the flight deck and the repair deck, and they both have this exact same establishing shot, but then they have different close-ups for the characters. So these first ones are the flight deck, and when you land, or if you were in a debriefing or something, these are the things that can appear in the background.
And this is then we kind of see in Concordia, and then in the Victory, we get these bays.
Yeah, and you can
became
see
one of the talking points for all of us.
Yeah, and it occurs to me just watching Wing Commander 2, I never put together what the geometric structure of any of this was. Like I never this you can see an elevator here that carries fighters up to the second section. But
that's what you think that's an elevator? I thought that's the side balcony where you sometimes have conversations over the flight deck.
Oh no, I think that's because that's there.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like when they're talking, it looks like they're above the deck.
Well, I'm going to show you in a second what it is. So,
okay.
There's something there that you can't tell what it is. It is exactly my point. So it's kind of an isolated thing, and then we have this is the one during takeoff. You see these. This is the takeoff one, which is not rendered. This is hand done, so it doesn't match anything on the model. And this is the repair deck here. And this time you see these. There's like an arm in one of the. That's the wide. This is and these are the close-ups. Beware of gravity. So, what is all that? How does the Concordia work? Are there elevators? And to figure that out, and I'm going to try something here that hopefully will work. Yes. I dug up the original model from the 3D package.
Here we go.
And you'll have to let me know if this stops working because it's an awkward process.
Look. Let's,
yeah.
Well, I'm going to wait till you click back in.
Wait till you
Ben Stanley says, hey, Mr. Lesnick.
What's that?
A man named Ben Stanley says hello.
Hello.
Fellow Ben. It's moving, so yes.
Okay. So this is a 3D model of this is the 3D model that was rendered way back in 1991. It's a 3DS file. From which all of those scenes were rendered and then painted over by hand. So this is the Concordia. You can see how the two, where the flight decks are, where the fighters enter. And
this is a great way when you showed us the other day that weird like upside down shot, because I'm like, how are they going to ever understand it? This is a fantastic way to now try to.
Thank you. There's one thing I care about. It's getting people to properly
when you
understand.
Posted that the other day, I'm literally like turning my head sideways, trying to be like, okay, I sort of understand what the hell we're looking at from this. It was like the worst possible angle, but you get the complete shot, but it's like upside down and backwards.
So here I am looking from the reverse angle from the inside.
What software is this?
This is a very old program called 3D Explorer. It was a free program on the web in the early 00s. And I don't know if it's useful for anything at all other than opening. We have a 500 megabyte.
Stop moving the thing around. Oh, you're getting called as being the Concordia looks drunk because you're wobbling as you're talking to it.
So I don't know what else this is good for, but it does do a very respectable job of loading the Wing Commander 3D files from the 90s and letting us just explore through them quickly.
You're a great salesman.
Especially someone like me who has no 3D program comprehension.
Yeah.
But it lets you sort through all these old Origin files, and it's pretty neat. The program is 3D Explorer. I don't even know if you can buy it and you can activate it anymore, but it was big 15 years ago, maybe. And the 3D packages at wcnews.com if you want to explore old bits of Wing Commander 2, Privateer, Super Wing Commander, a little bit of Strike Commander in there. Anyway.
Give us a better shot here instead of drunk weird look.
Here we have the... Is that gonna...
I'll let you know.
Should fix. Okay, so here we have the... we're looking from the opposite... We're looking out towards the base. So you can see the repair bay is actually...
You want to adjust it.
Okay.
It's like down.
It's going to fix it now. That'll fix it. It's our first time using Footballtron 5000 in a long time. So there we go. Now you can see it all. Okay.
Yeah.
So The so-called repair deck is actually forward-facing in the ship. There's the big arm thing, and
I don't know what that'd be for. Moving fighters?
He probably moves a fighter somewhere.
But I guess lifts... I bet that takes it up.
Track up there.
I bet that help... Because otherwise we see small vehicles moving them around and driving around deck.
Yeah. So the two bays are connected. You know, if this were a Wing Commander 3 style game, that's how it would fly through. Like you can see, there's like tracks and things on the roof. But then if we look at this angle, facing towards the engines of the ship, here are the zoom out a little bit, maybe there. There are the fighter bays where I guess the fighters are kept somewhere back, or worked in back there, the bays for the arming and so on that you see when you're taking off. And on either side, there's this elevator, which has this tube. Yeah, there's an elevator to carry fighters to the higher ones, and then bring them down here to the two takeoff areas. So if your fighter is being worked on in 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can carry down by that, and you can see that it's halfway on the other side. There's no render of that in the game, but anyway, that's how the inside of the Concordia works. And I thought that was cool.
What does the Beware of Gravity sign fully say?
And you can see some of the sometimes textures are missing or mislabeled over the years, so it's not quite set properly. Beware of Gravity.
Religious?
Yeah, let me,
Is that what it kind of looks like? I don't know.
Regions. Beware of reduced gravity regions.
Reduced gravity
there
regions.
We go.
I don't think it's an ordnance loader. It's too large.
This is the area that's specifically called the repair deck in the cutscenes. So I think this is where you'll see, like, there'll be a fighter here on this elevator, and Sparks will be working on it.
So maybe that arm is for moving, like, fighters that are so damaged they can't move themselves or something, or wrecks.
Yeah,
or
something like that. Replacing a whole wing or something.
Yeah, or lifting engines in or something. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
So the question I'm left with is, what do you think these are? These numbered... Because, like, these all look like elevators.
They
2, 3, 4.
They do.
So, like, do you think we store fighters below deck? There's nothing rendered down here. Or is it ordnance? Or they seem fighter-sized.
They do seem... Well, the thing that's interesting to me is that it looks like there's 8 numbered, for lack of a better word, like, ready bays for fighters that are about to launch. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's got to be... It's anticipating another deck somehow.
Okay, yeah.
Where then, well, like, you have 3, or I guess one of those other ones must be labeled 1, where all of those are used to, quickly bring up the rest of the spacecraft. But, I mean, I don't necessarily... I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense at the same...
Oh, and here, this view is the side view that you'll see sometimes in a close-up. Anyway, a quick tour through the Concordia's...
Tarsus asked, maybe landing zones? I mean...
Possibly.
We do see them, well, because those fighters spin, and then you know how they do that landing sequence? Maybe it's for, like, the automatic landing system, the tractor beam, like, places you down in those spots.
True, although they do seem to use the... They just seem to use this same
color,
trim, same marker for the other, for the ones
but
that we know
then
are
what's
elevators.
the red square one? Like,
maybe for the little yellow vehicle that drives around?
But why would it need its own special size elevator, I mean, it doesn't have it...
or maybe that's ordnance.
Yeah, because it's red for, danger or something. I mean, yeah, it just seems... I don't know. It's a lot of... I mean, so there's 5 elevators. Oh, there you go. You are not.
I'm not well equipped for this.
No.
I'm trying to look down the...
Yep. Well, you need to adjust the center somehow. Like, or have a free floating center.
I should probably learn how to do some of this. Yeah. We'll figure that out later. Close the program. So that was our quick look inside the Concordia that I thought I would share. The only other bit that I know I was pulling to the screenshots out of the game, I happened upon this, which this is the landing for the landing imagery for the Saber, and I never noticed how chunky the Saber's butt was.
Saber got back.
So much so that it's actually stored in two images in the game. One which is the main front of the ship, and then one which is the little turret. And
Saber got back?
It's a thing of joy to go into Wing Commander 2's guts and just look through all the images with the WC Nav or whatever the modern version of WC Nav is. It's just so cool to see all that, like, oh, here's the damaged version, and here's the side view, and here's the angled shot, and all these, like, because they had to do, 30 different types of view for each ship, not just in flight, but for all the different kinds of cutscenes, and it's just cool to see all the stuff that's in there that you never think about. So we'll do some slideshows and more of that stuff in the future, but until then, there's a chunky saber.
That's a huge turret too.
It is.
But yeah, so I would say Sebastian asks, is that elevator really 36 meters long to accommodate a broadsword? And I have to say, I would assume yes, if not bigger. Figure it's 40 meters or something. I mean, I don't know. It depends how they. I mean, I don't know how they would decide the size of elevators, even things like that.
Yeah, I'm someone who is smarter than I am could definitely take that mesh, and you should, because it's available in the CIC, and you can probably figure out how long it is. In fact, the numbers in Wing Commander 2 should be accurate, because it should all make sense. We'll see if it does. They're actually very good. Even in the freehand stuff, they're good at scale. Like if you saw, there'll be a shot where you can see the entire rapier, but if the broadsword is in that landing scene, you just see a wall of broadsword or just a turret. So they're pretty good at scale in that one particular Wing Commander, that and Prophecy.
Prophecy.
This next one is called AD Toilet Thing, and I was AD brought this up.
I'm sure. Thanks.
It's a semi-famous thing in science fiction that you never see toilets in classic sci-fi shows, especially Star Trek. It's like, oh, there's no toilet in the Enterprise.
There's one in Babylon 5.
Yes, but in fact, that's when Babylon 5 was supposed to be like the enfant terrible of changing the rules. Like, we're gonna have a space toilet. Anyway, AD was sharing this on Twitter, and it made it to the WC News, and I figured I'd show it too. But if you look carefully at this is from the love scene in the Wing Commander movie. You can see that there is indeed a space toilet next to the bed in Maniac's quarters. So it's the kind of detail they had the set dressing for the movie.
Everybody gotta go pee.
And my slideshow is not slide showing properly. But there you can see here. He points out the toilet dispenser in back of the toilet paper dispenser.
Nice.
He's very thorough.
Right.
And
here's
here's
a thirst trap for you.
Yeah, you can see Maniac's toiletries in his open
nice dog tag.
Open window. And he also shared this, which is from a work print. This one, which is from a movie work print. Oh, and it is weirdly tiny. This one from the movie, which was how the scene originally opened. And he did not have enough time to get us a video of this today, so next week we'll have a video of whatever this is referencing.
A toilet.
Space toilet. Space toilet.
Space.
That's all we can think about.
Get space toilets.
All right.
Constellation.
I have one more thing I wanted to show off. This is from an eBay auction that's going on right now. The original cover art for Action Stations is up for sale. I would love to buy it. I will not be able to afford it, so some lucky person will have the actual Paul Alexander Action Stations painting cover. But one of the things in the auction that they showed off from his files was, well, you have to see it. That.
Hey.
That's really...
That's not the same thing we're reading right now, is it?
Yeah, this is kind of a confirmation of a story we already knew, but it's really interesting to see it in real life. Which is that the cover to Action Stations, which when Action Stations came out, I remembered massive arguments on the Usenet. There's a particular kind of internet fan who assumes he knows how things are run and then that everyone else is an idiot. Edward Tang, if you're out there. No, there were these flame wars where it was like...
That's a deep cut.
Bane has is awful because they just took slush art and put it in this cover. It's not Wing Commander. It's just some generic sci-fi painting they had. And people battled about this. The stakes were so much lower in 1998. Anyway, that was not the case. People thought that for years. When we found the study painting they did, we discovered that the artist had labeled it Wing Commander 4. That was the name of the painting, which at first just seems confusing because Action Stations is the 6th Wing Commander book, so it's not like that. Anyway, it boils down to the fact that what happened was this painting here was commissioned to originally be the 4th Wing Commander novel painting, the cover for the 4th book, which is the 3rd game, Wing Commander, novelization of Wing Commander 3.
Okay.
Initially, Bain didn't think they would have the rights to use the key art from the game, so they needed to do their own version. So this is Paul Alexander painting his take on the Wing Commander 3 cover. And you can kind of see that. I remember back in the day, they just added that karate in the corner to make it seem like... No, it's just the Wing Commander 3 cover. And then when it was not used, it got saved, and a couple years later, went in Action Stations. So...
Yeah, there you go.
That was too exciting to not show.
Yeah, that's some deep cut information. That's what you need to know.
Neat stuff.
That is very neat because it's because Action Stations like, wait, what the hell? Why is this here?
Yeah, what are these supposed to be the battle? Because the other books you can kind of tell what he read in the book and turned into the cover.
Sure.
Even the Hikagos and Fleet Action. Even if you don't want the Hikagos to look in your mind, you can see that he's trying to make them.
Yeah.
So it's trying to be the Wing Commander 3 cover with Rachel, and the choice between Rachel and Flint and Thrakath, and Blair could be is the player, so he could be anyone, so we obscure his face because we don't have the rights to put Mark Hamill on this thing. And that's where that came from.
And there you go.
With that, let's take a jump to Loki.
Loki.
And we will just warm up our 3DO emulator and see what the 3DO take on this part of the game is like.
Yeah, I should let me pull this up from memory. Last week, the first mission gave you a bit of a hard time. So let's see.
I know to turn down the audio on this one a bit.
Yeah, I forget what you... tell us how our sound is, though.
Let us know about sound. We're not
good.
We're not good at that stuff.
Nope. We're terrible at it. Hold on. Mike says game is so loud.
I turned it down already, so
let's see. Yeah, so let's wait. I'm going to wait 10 seconds.
Yeah, wait to see if it goes down again before...
Still saying a bit loud.
Alright, I'll turn it down a little bit more.
How about now?
Well, I'm going to play a cutscene now. Let us know.
Yeah, he said still loud.
According to pilots in numerous sectors, the Karathi have ceased the time-honored practice of taking ejected pilots prisoner by plucking them out of space's vacuum and tractoring them aboard support ships. Instead, they have been firing on the defenseless flyers, murdering them in cold blood.
I should draw these just in case. Oh, they say better now.
Okay, cool.
Good.
All right, here's our Vaquero reward conversation.
Want to buy a ticket, sir? To what? Opening night party in my cantina. People are saying the war is almost over. Once we pull the trigger on that behemoth thing, it'll be hasta la vista.
Behemoth. It's just the best way to... There's so many ways to pronounce behemoth in this game, and behemoth is a good one. Alright. Who do I have to talk to? Anybody in the gunnery? No.
I'm just living in the past. Because I'm hearing you.
Okay.
This is actually a very nice... I have to say, you did very well at picking your volume right now. It's a very good balance with your random... Oh, I hear myself now. That's weird.
He's just amazed by it.
No disrespect intended, sir.
That is a dumb way to pronounce behemoth, though.
As we move closer to the
Bohemian Rhapsody, man.
I decided to assume command.
Living the Bohemian
I
lifestyle.
hold the fate of the Confederation in my hands.
Leha says the Rec Room music sounded
Let's
different
get down
to
to
him.
business, shall we?
The Rec Room music is different in
We
this
are
one.
about
It's one
to
of his other
enter the
pieces.
Loki system,
Because he
where
recorded,
we'll
he did a
test
bunch
the
of
beam up on
different
Loki 6,
takes on that.
home to a small Kilrathi military base. Loki 6 is a unique planet in that
Right.
it orbits a quasar. As you know,
Will we
the
see
quasar
any effects of the
belongs now
quasar in the
before
mission itself?
The world
So the
wonders.
base will be enabled to
I think we will not, but
But by the time
Dude,
the Kilrathi
come on,
sent out
at
a
least
ship
wait
to
till
investigate,
launch.
We shall be pulling up just outside downtown Kilra.
Downtown
Test
Kilda.
fire the behemoth.
Oh, wait.
A little house cleaning is in order.
Yeah, first,
On
before
this mission,
we
I'd
use
like
our
you to sweep out
giant,
Loki
hard to
6's
miss
surrounding
planet-killing weapon, you should really clear the
Don't leave
system.
any strays out there. We don't need anyone bothering us when we line up the weapon for its
by the way,
first test.
Stray's a joke. Is he saying that with like this internalized stray cats?
Understood,
Or
Admiral.
is it just how you army talk? These are the hard questions.
I would have to say it's both. I mean, it can't not be. I feel like it
Mission objectives.
can't not be either one of them.
Oh, and one
Like it
last
has
thing.
to be both, you know?
Like, yeah, and is he like, oh, I have some funny wordplay. Colonel Blair will enjoy this one.
Maniac.
I think maybe to us in 1994, but I'm not so sure in 2669 if that's what they're getting at.
All right.
I mean, if he was really going for that, he'd be like, Colonel Blair, you're quite the pussy slayer. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, last time we,
Once again, will the longbow ever show?
it showed once. We had a longbow mission, I believe.
Yeah, what was it the mining?
No, it was not the mining, which surprised everybody.
What the hell one was it then?
It was an earlier strike, I think. But yeah,
Very few longbows.
very little longbow.
Hey, everybody, ladies love the longbow.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, it just sounds good. Hey, look, there's Surprised Man with his batons. He always looked, I guess not surprised, maybe shocked. Actually, he's like
Whoa,
surprised, yeah, or maybe
Colonel
whoa,
Blair.
yeah, he's like, yeah, he's, whoa.
He's
just
he did a bunch of brilliance before his ship.
Yeah, and at the end of the war, the Navy's really, like, they don't have time for drug tests and stuff, they're just like, fine. And in here, it's a shot, you can see maintenance being done, see the bay in the background, this is where another point of.
Yeah, so that whole bay where that little arrow was is the
Apparently
elevator.
elevators, yeah.
All right.
So, all right. So let's see. This should be. Obviously. Last time this was a grind of a Corvette, another Corvette, and back top. That was a nav of Drowthy. And then it was another back top Dark Jet with the Straka on top, where that last nav point was really kicking your ass.
Yeah,
You had those-
I think we had 2 or 3 tries last week to get it.
Yeah, it was the Corvettes that were definitely nailing it.
What is happening here? He does not seem to want to fight me very much.
Well, his ship is blinking, so I would assume he's perhaps upset at the status of his systems.
Actually, more like a Wing Commander 1 kill Wrath.
It is interesting.
You know
Don't
what?
I feel like we see that in this game more too? Like they run.
Yeah, Wing Commander 1 they run. They don't in many other versions.
They definitely run in this because we've seen before where fighters have taken off, or even wasn't there what the Corvette was running away from you?
Yes.
It's been very weird. Things that do that, you know.
Well, he did indeed run away.
Well, yeah, I would say everybody's not near you. You're the big scary bad guy.
You know, I wonder if letting him run is going to be a fail condition for the mission. I mean, does it that, or the...
Well, you're supposed to get all the stray cats. So.
Yeah, he's a stray. I mean, we'll see if
is now your taunting question going to come back to bite you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what the victory condition for this mission actually is. Is it kill 100% of the guys, or is it just patrol the nav points? We'll find out. Yeah, this is really good 3D for a... Oh my gosh! You know what? We had a trailer for the Wing Commander 3. We'll have to go back to Afterburner after this. Remind me. Okay. We've got so that was a very easy nav point for 3DO. That was like 4 Drolfi.
Yeah, that was rather small. That was Darkets. And Darkets. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, let's see. Maybe you're gonna fail this mission because you didn't get that guy.
Yeah, maybe that was the challenge.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because why otherwise you have so few fighters?
Maniac's not doing well today.
Waypoint.
I believe Wing Commander 3 film or video was film, correct?
It was no, it was beta cam video.
Beta.
Is that right? Yes. They tested doing it on film, but opted to go with video. Wing 4 was shot on film, and of course the movie was.
Oh yeah, Chris Reeve. Okay, so you're so far you've marched through like really nothing. Well, what do we got here?
What is that?
It's a Corvette.
Okay.
It's a Corvette at a very weird angle where I'm like, is that a destroyer? What the hell is that? You got multiple Corvettes, it looks like, though.
Well, Corvettes go down easy in this port, so...
Let's see what we got. Like, you might have another caption. I couldn't tell that shit was. Might have been something else. Yeah, this does seem... I wonder if... Watch it be that drop or something. The first time
yeah.
What the fuck? What the hell was that?
Oh,
gun platform.
Okay,
hey!
Okay, yeah.
Hey! What's up? Red Borg cube.
Interesting.
Like,
so I did not know we were going to see this so soon.
Hey.
Gosh, I didn't have my talk prepared.
Oh no! What?
So the 3DO replaces the ground attack missions with missions that are attacks on these gun platforms, which are heavily armored, just floating turrets. Each one it's 2 laser turrets back to back on kind of a textured cube, and you can actually tell that the texture was not done by the same people who did the other Commander 3 art. But they take quite a bit of hitting to destroy.
They're super thin.
They are. They're
okay, so it's like basically a piece of armor with a turret on either side.
Yeah, really. It's
like a flat.
Kind of like a diamond.
Yeah. Because I really thought it was like a diamond where it was boosted out of it, but now I get what you're saying. I can see that it's just the 2 turret models literally on a sheet of like Durasteel floating through space. Well, that's weird to see. That was.
Yeah, I didn't know we were gonna see one so early.
There you go. There's genuine shock on this show. That's us with real surprise. We don't know what's gonna happen.
2 weeks away.
Okay, yeah, I see. Oh yeah, it's like slightly puffed out. Yeah, okay, it does have a bit of
it's
a bit of
very
geometry.
much like this is a building in Doom sort of a thing.
It's terrible. Oh yeah, it does look like it's kind of with some toothpaste caps on it. Was the Confederation still using Venture-class Corvettes during this time period?
My guess would be yes.
Yeah, I'm guessing at the end they were not sparing anything save something that was truly useless.
I mean, keep in mind this would be only 2 years. I mean, we last see the Venture in Milk Run, which was just 2 years before.
Yeah, 67, 66, 66.
Waypoint area not secure.
Replace the Corvettes with cubes.
So yes, I would say they were still using Venture Corvettes, and my guess is people make a lot of in terms of coming up with a timeline in which fighter flies when.
Need clearance, TTS victory.
Looks like smooth sailing for the Big B, Colonel. You're cleared to land.
Okay, looks like we won the mission.
Okay.
people make a lot of, there's a hard service state. I don't think there is. I think for most ships, I think like Arena shows us there's 25 years later we're still flying Rapiers, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, there's overlay. I mean, that's normal in any combat situation, as you phase things in and out.
I think what kind of set us off thinking that way, that it had to work in that fashion, was the very strict, the scimitar is no longer in service we see in Wing Commander 1. Like, got everybody thinking a particular way. But even then, we see scimitars over and over again after that.
Mm-hmm.
That was really just the game trying to explain why they'd switched the models out for the draw.
Yeah, I feel like
because it was limited to four ships at once.
Yeah, well, I mean, that locked us in even just with the games themselves. Where we get very little carryover, save for the Rapier. And even then, it's not technically the same fighter. But every time, it's like, oh no, this era has these ships. This era has these.
You're
fighters
right.
on board,
You're right.
And this is.
It's just different. It's more different theaters than anything.
Yeah. Well, not even. It's almost like it's theaters. Yeah, I'll give you. Yeah, I'm sure that's another way to look at it. Even too is that no, that was in Vega. This is an Enigma. I don't even. Yeah. But then even just the years themselves of Wing Commander 1 is in the 50s, and you have the later 60s, and then the very end of the 60s. But yeah, it becomes. It's not. I don't think it's certainly more fluid. You use it, especially in like a galactic-sized war. I mean,
yeah,
the ship flies.
Got news for you. Tolan had nothing to do with your lack of promotion. Your flying style took care of that for you. Tolan doesn't even know you're alive.
Think of the amount of slash fiction we would have about Maniac and Blair if this were a modern game.
How many people here know about the Maniac?
What?
Oh, what? Nobody?
Nobody? Who knows here? Who knows about the Dunderdall? Huh? Huh?
Nobody even knows what a Dunderdall is.
You son of a bitch.
Sir, you seem awfully keyed up.
All right, so you're gonna have. Then we have. Oh, this is 4 hot points.
We're on hot point 2 already.
Yep. Moving through the hot points.
These gummies, they call them.
Doing the gum.
After planet that would rid the galaxy of Kilrathi. There's no justification for their existence. And that includes
justification for their existence. It's weird dialogue.
You have no clue.
And cutting, really. You there. There's no justification for your existence.
Slave labor camp.
I mean, when you've been a POW, I guess you have time to think about words like that.
I don't even think you're a POW if you're captured when you're 10.
Yeah, no.
You're just a slave.
I saw things. The psych guys spent 2 years trying to pry things out of my head after I escaped.
Yeah, you're not.
Can you figure out the timeline?
There's a little bit of Kilrathi prowling around inside of me, and I can't get it out.
Here's a hint. We get her age and victory streak. Use these 3 references to pierce out Cobra's entire life.
She does seem to move through her military training rather briskly.
Yeah, because she escapes when she's 20. She spends 2 years in psych, so 23 to 27 is... You can figure out when she's captured if you get victory streak and work backwards.
A challenge for next week. That's our new segment. What are they called on Weekend Edition Sunday? With little shorts, the Puzzle Master. What's that? Do you remember that thing was called?
Just look up victory streak and see how I'll go.
No, I'm trying to think. What's that thing called? The puzzle. It's called the Puzzler.
Can I speak frankly?
That's actually Car Talk with the Puzzler. This week's Puzzlers. Can you figure out
all due respect,
Cobra's life?
I don't think your assumption of.
We'll pick one of the winning answers, and you will win. What do they give you?
I'm not really interested in public opinion polls on my tactical decisions.
I don't know what you're talking about.
On Car Talk.
Okay.
They had the Puzzler, and then they sent it to Our Fair City.
That was before I was acquainted with its crew, sir.
Ah, yes. A fine quality, your transfer of loyalties. Project Behemoth needs a guardian angel. I've been with it since its inception.
That's really not what you want to say.
By the way, is that him again picking his words very carefully? Guardian angel? Is he like? Is this like a housewife of New York sort of a thing? Are they like cutting?
Maybe he is British.
Yeah, he's intentionally being a dick is the question.
Well, Tolan is a giant dick to Blair. Which it's funny. Would you think that if like he also was picking the squad, he maybe put Bear in Blair's position? You know? Even though Bondaversky had moved up to command as opposed to flying. Which really, he only moved up to command because of a kamikaze. Like, there's nothing that could have kept him there.
I'm not a captain anymore.
I mean, except I'm assuming he gets promoted, so, you know. But still.
First time I've been like that.
Bear strikes me as an eagle, not an earthworm.
I don't think I was even.
And then he goes to Destroyer, so who the hell knows what's going on?
So he's covered 32 in victory streak or not?
Oh, I didn't do my job at all. So.
They can promote us, demote us, bounce us all over the galaxy.
That does sound
one
right,
thing
though.
that matters. That first time you shaved, you could look yourself in the mirror.
Do you think LAF can figure out where gunnery is based on the position of the destroyer outside? And same with the O deck, you know. You see the cruiser sitting there, so you should be able to position it.
I would assume gunnery control is. I picture gunnery control being just like on carrier flight or islands today. They have like these bridge wings. I figure it's just something like that, but it's enclosed. You know, picture like a porch, except here, you know, it's space and enclosed.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it's something like that.
Makes sense.
Cover me while I fire the behemoth.
Sounds simple enough, Admiral.
So, these are the mission objectives. Oh, and one last thing.
Auntie Cobra.
Cobra?
We've been talking about her.
I want you on my wing for this one. Dismissed. And good luck.
Lieutenant Laurel Buckley, call sign Cobra, age 32.
32, okay.
From the world of Enyo.
Which was the first series in the original Wing Commander. Was she taken as a slave during the original Wing Commander? No. No, the numbers don't bear that one out. Again, we're just gonna go with the Hellcat just for the sake of having something different this week.
Working with the. All right, so you burned through this. So this one was also. This mission also kind of punched you last because it was the Pocton.
Yeah.
Because it also just gives you the arrow and the Hellcat, and you chose poorly, and it kind of sucked a bit. So let's see what they throw different at you here. Because last time this was a single, a scramble, if you will, at the victory.
So let me do some sky math while we're thinking this. So if she's 32 in 2669, she would be born in 2637-ish. I mean, because of how birthdays work, it could be one side or the other. 2637. So 2648 is when she is taken as a slave, which will be around Custer's Carnival. 2648 slave. 2658 is freed. 2660 is when she's done with the psych.
So that could be somewhere that.
So she began her training 9 years before this game. Oh, and here we have the.
And she's only a lieutenant, so I mean that's not. So yeah, we start with Straka's. We're still at the victory stamp point.
Yeah, we took right off.
But I don't. Is the behemoth there?
Check out in a second. Why isn't this Straka closed?
I don't.
The bad Straka pilot.
I don't know why it's not blowing up either.
You know, maybe they don't cloak when they're going after.
Oh, that's the victory.
So no, I don't see the behemoth here. So maybe we're gonna fly.
Maybe we're gonna nav to it. All right, maybe they start you with some Strakas in your grill.
Maybe this is more like the novelization where the victory has gone on in the.
Yeah, the behemoth battle group really needs like 40 destroyers at a minimum. I got a bare minimum.
Which brings to mind an interesting question. How plentiful do you think destroyers are in the Wing Commander universe? How many Exeters do you think Confed has? Just blue sky guessing here.
Given the size of the Confederation and how they... I'm thinking we have, at a minimum, we're talking like 3,000.
Okay.
And I think that, given the space, that's still not enough, but... Because I think they try to give it to us both ways, too, in terms of numbers, where making it seem like destroyers are very plentiful, while also then showing battle groups with, like, 2. Yeah. Which, I mean, sure, granted, yes, that's limitation of the engine and things like that. But even in the novels where there are no limits, like End Run...
Yeah, I think the novels get problematic because of the...
They stick to more real-world, like, carrier group numbers.
Yeah, there's like 12 carriers. There's a couple references to stuff like, oh, there's 12 or 20 carriers.
Yeah.
Now, the Confed Handbook does at one point say that the Karathi are believed to have, and you got this exactly right, 3,000 R'lyeh-class destroyers in service. So, yeah, that does seem to shake. Size-wise, this seems to be how it would work.
Yeah, because you figure they're the because we've kind of talked about this off air before. More, carrier combat.
I'm flying to the Behemoth now. The next nav point is Behemoth.
Carrier combat is not the rule; it's the exception in this war.
Right to the cutscene.
Okay. Yeah, Behemoth. This.
I love the recoil, and again, that's one of those Chris Roberts space physics make no sense, but they're wonderful.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Now it's all super accurate. But back then, the fighters would dip, the Behemoth would recoil. It was awesome.
All right, now asteroids. Oh, hello.
Draw thee on the rock.
So we got you're flying through little remains of Loki. Oh, hello.
Oh. There's the Behemoth.
Just kind of falling out of nowhere.
Oh.
But yeah, carrier combat is the exception in this war. It seems more likely that most of the combat is either small fighter combat from destroyers and cruisers launching their small wings or bases, in systems trading strikes and stuff like that. But most of it is small capital ship, corvettes, frigates, destroyers. They're the ones that it seems to come across doing the vast majority of the fighting.
Yeah, and it was stuff like raiders, like we see in Milk Run, which I guess it kind of realized in the Gothri and the K-Mex that fly around the Gemini sector. So kind of these smaller skirmishing units.
Yeah. Yeah, the vast majority of this war isn't, most of the naval combat deaths aren't in these climactic carrier battles. They're instead in just, the daily grind of small ship operations.
Yeah, there's a reference in Privateer that Confed is using hundreds of ships a day. The scale of the thing is kind of bigger than you assume it was. Look at that thing.
That's a really messed up looking at the Behemoth.
It feels shorter.
It's definitely
shorter, but it's got some girth.
It looks like a buckle. It's terrible. I'm sorry to say. It's just... They really jazz out the wings. How many rail are these? Blow up a Wing Commander 1. Not including Curacao.
Not 3,000.
Not 3,000.
It's something like a dozen.
That's actually one thing that I feel Wing Commander 1 actually does better than all of the other games, is that when you get to a capture mission, it feels kind of more, even more Wing Commander 2 where you have torpedoes and things, but encountering one feels like this much bigger deal.
Yeah, Wing Commander 1, and this is by virtue of the fact that you aren't locked into these broader briefings and debriefings. Wing Commander 1 has a bit more universe to it when it comes to asteroid field. Won't let me fly through. When you destroy a capital ship, maybe there's a little bit of lore. Oh, this is the TCS Formidable that's arriving, and oh, you just destroyed a Karathi ComCon.
Yeah.
I like that, which you kind of lose with the full motion video. to a degree.
Need clearance.
Don't ram
TCF victory.
Victory at the end here.
Wow.
No, and yeah, and I think you're definitely right. Like that little bit of flavor goes a long way to helping build the missions in like the lore of the missions into your mind.
Yeah, very much so.
You feel much more attached to things. Where in this, if you suddenly come across a Frothy 2 or a Carrier in one of these missions, you're like, oh shit, where did this come? Like,
you have to write your own story because Rachel isn't going to mention it when you get back.
Yeah, you lose that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Who do we have left to chat with?
Hobbs and Gunnery. It should be.
Let me see if there's another.
In this week's
There's
top
another one.
Infoburst, Confed forces have liberated the enslaved population.
Cabrera
of the
system's
Cabrera
free,
system.
baby.
But the Confederation
Cabrera.
has clamped
Cabrera.
down on all
I'm
bid
making a guess
transmissions from the system, citing the interests of Confed security. Independent sources, however,
I guess
report
she's
that
writing on
conditions
paper
within the
with a
system
pen.
are so horrific that the
Maybe it's a
Confederation
Newton.
has concluded freedom of the press must
Maybe
take a
Barbara
back
Miles was
seat to the
even real.
psychological harm any news releases may do. TNC believes that you, the viewer, have a right to know at all times. Therefore, we are currently taking action to combat this clear case of prior restraint. We'll keep you informed.
And if there's a journalist out there, that alone tells us interesting information about the Confederation and its concept of freedom of the press. And, TNC is not a Confed propaganda organ, even after all those years of war and so on. It's interesting. All right, let's talk to Hobbs.
You think it might even be after 30 years of war? You have to imagine the Confederation's morale and public opinion is.
I'd understand if you had mixed
It's a
feelings about the
long
behemoth
time.
and what it's about to
Especially for
do.
democracy.
It's been a long war that has turned
I mean, sure,
all of
because
us
the enemy is unrelenting,
inside out.
but still,
Will be Kilrathi that
I mean, it would
survived
be
when the
interesting to
war's
see
over
the
to
war from the
understand
sense
what
of
you're
someone
doing.
at home, because if you're on Earth or in half the Confederation, you never see the war. You're not threatened by the Kilrathi. The war is like the war to us. We have this vague idea that there is a war in the Middle East right now, but it's not our lives, and you wonder what that experience is like here.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, Earth has been threatened several times, and at this point in the game, Earth is reeling from.
Yeah, at this point, Earth has
suffered.
For the first 28 years or so.
Yeah, they've not seen anything, or it's been close calls that they've managed to avoid. Like in a movie where, instead it's probably everybody knew somebody at McAuliffe to open the war, and then at this point though, it's
yes, it's definitely a war where and I guess the actual analogy is the United States during World War.
Just want to say, love the wireframes of all the fleet coming.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I had to. That's a great wireframe fleet. But yeah,
it's the United States World War II, but it's more so. And you wonder what does that do to a generation of thinking? The Kilrathi could attack, and they never do. But the war doesn't end either.
Mm-hmm.
Flash, you can see this one.
Flash. You're gonna be
Speaking of all the worst wingmen.
Nice. And this is this
that
is not
seemed
a
bad
long
to Cobra.
mission.
Cobra is not a terrible wingman at all. But
well, this is an easy. Let's see how they do this mission, because this is the destruction mission. So
yeah, this should be. This should be more story than mission, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Hey!
That's different.
Hey! Where'd you come from?
Again, I was thinking next week was going to be our first time at this particular bat, but
nope. Hey!
This is actually very smart of this version. I realize now. Last time they teased it with us, we saw it on the flight deck, but we didn't get to fly it.
Mm-hmm.
If we're trying to trick the player into thinking this is the final battle with Thraketh and he's supposed to engage, it makes sense to give him the fighter, the Excalibur. That's a smart game design decision. And I'm happy about it. It's going to be our first time seeing Excalibur take off all the way. Exciting.
Nice nerd sound, nerd.
When do I make non-nerd sounds?
Hey! All the time.
Football.
Except earlier when we were trying to dice our theories of the Simpsons verse. Oh, look at there! No! Go turn back. Oh, don't worry. It's gonna blow. There you go. That's a great sideshow we haven't looked at yet. Yeah. So yeah, look at the conning tower. It looks like it's a legit one of the buildings.
Yeah.
Interesting, different. All right. So we have Vaktoth. Probably Paktoth.
And by the way, look at my guns, red and blue. Amazing. Oh, and it cuts through Backtans like butter.
Hey, except they're Vaktoths, I'm sure.
Backtans. Backtons.
Can't talk Thoth. Hey, try to shoot the behemoth, okay? Looks like there's an extra number of red stars today for some reason.
What's it?
On the game. It just seems like this is ridiculous. Like they just have a lot of the red stars.
I think it's because it's supposed to be the Quasar system.
Oh, so the red dot. Because I thought when I'm like, there's like a lot more of those than normal, I thought. But I didn't say anything, just figuring maybe I just forgot. But all right.
Yeah, and in fact, right before this mission, we had the before we blew it up, they had a special skybox object for Loki. I should have called it out, but they had a large gray planet that matched the video. So they do a good job with that stuff. Oh, I've got to be bothered with this. Interesting, the fighter turrets work, but they don't. Not for confed ships. They just cut them entirely from confed ships. Only leave them on the Kilrathi.
Not too bad. Well, they're not too good on them.
No, they're nowhere near as fun. And you can see it's like lasers.
Yeah, those dual lasers that were way off.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was shooting those. Certainly not you. It's so weird seeing the Excalibur shield and armor displayed in that color, like purple instead of the burgundy colors it normally is.
Yeah, and the guns in this color too,
Yeah.
which is weird because the color the gun is missing is
white.
Is the purple that is clearly used right there.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's true. That's definitely true.
Like the decision to change the gun colors was definitely not a palette limitation. It's interesting. When is the victory gonna die, guys?
Watch it be like you have to let it die somehow.
Not the victory, the
Behemoth. Yeah, no. Somehow you're supposed to let it get through.
But you can see a much more interesting mission than the others. With the PC version of this is entirely Paktons, just endless Paktons.
Maybe it really is trying to trick you. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, something's happening. Pakton's flying everywhere with Dralthi. That's not my behemoth. I'm sorry, that's the prime behemoth. I'm in a Kelvin behemoth, bitch.
The heart of the tiger.
Oh, hey. Oh, look at that. Whoa. What is that? Is that the Dreadnought?
Oh, that's the Dreadnought. Oh, there is a way to see it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to break the rules just slightly, save the state right here so that we can fly over to that Dreadnought.
All right, yep. Shut up, Thrasheth. It looks significantly like they cut two sections out. Oh, shit.
You bore me, monsieur. Disintegrate me so I might join my comrades.
Anyway, like that's cool because I wanted to see the Dreadnought. In fact, I've been screwing around trying to see the Dreadnought. I went to the last mission, which according to the 3U official guide, there's 4 of them in the mission. There's not. You don't see it there at all. I tried to fly Proxima, and the Dreadnought spawning is actually the trigger to end the mission on that one, so you can't actually see it. So here's a very brief chance to see it.
Here first, live.
You have slain
in only 30 seconds.
During your career,
which we will fill with suspense and anticipation right now. Look at this. This is a triple threat of things you didn't think were going to happen. And bam, bam, bam. What does that hold for tonight's Picard? The world wonders.
And Yolanda Jalot, who plays Angel, is now a personal assistant translator in L.A. For visiting dignitaries and upper-class folks.
She worked for you for several weeks when you were doing your famous ambassadorship.
Yeah, if you are like a fancy French person and you go to LA, you can hire her to help you out.
All right, get your ass in business here.
Yeah,
let's talk. Look how close it is to the victory as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's what has been removed.
It's one rung shorter.
What the hell way are we approaching it? From the rear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's
okay.
It's missing. No, that's
missing a chunk.
It's missing.
Oh, you hate it. It's missing the end. It's missing
the whole back.
Final.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the handle part and then the stabbing part. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Colonel, if you don't turn around and land now, you'll be left behind.
Okay, but how do I...
We've found a problem. You're supposed to kill the dreadnought.
I'm not supposed to kill the dreadnought.
You're 100% supposed to kill the dreadnought. Do you just fight until it jumps out?
Well, what I'm trying... could you look up what the key to target something else in the 3DO version is? Because I think my problem is I don't know the... it's another one of these. I don't know the command to... You know, it looks like Kronos' ship from Privateer 2. Oh, Victory's jumping out without me. It actually had a little animation where it sped up, but it did not have a jump animation.
R.A. The psychic targets.
R.A. Well, while I'm here, I guess I could just fight Thrakath.
On your own. It changed that part too, right? That little connector?
Yeah, it looks thinner.
On the fly, as they say.
Shoot the sound of the dreadnought. I'm surprised it has not ended the mission on me. We're working. Oh, look! It's got cool markings on the top.
Oh, like rising sun thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely. So it's made that part. It's significantly reduced that connector. Here. So. Okay, so they actually did a lot more than that. They rearranged several of the sections.
Interesting.
So
let me zoom over and we'll show it on the screen.
Yeah. So like then it almost looks like what they did is they took the front half of the ship and then split it. Right. So you see there's the standard front, 4 spikes right end, and then you have that connector, and then where that handle part is, that's actually in the PC model, right? If you just remind me, see how it's like they took that half and split it.
Okay.
So it's like, because if you look, there's the handle-esque shape like that, and you see directly behind the 4 spikes. So it's like, yeah, they cut off the entire back of the ship and just taken that front part, split it in half, and then added that bar in the middle to make it look like that. More of a... It's a Dreadnought Light, if you will. Oh! Well, looks like it's Dreadnought dead. Dratgas still flying around. Really not a great ace in this. He's really not a... Bloodfang, not as hard.
No, it's not.
He's just tumbling around.
I wonder if it's how it's going to trigger me to die at some point. Like, also, did I just end the war by killing Prince Strakath and blowing up the Dreadnought? Like, maybe the victory should have waited a little bit longer for me.
Yeah, what is it running from? I don't see any other enemies.
Well, it was pretty near the Dreadnought at one point.
Oh, what's going to happen?
I got him all red. And
oh, you won the game!
I won the game! It's over! Hey!
Alright, well, that's it. We're going to wrap it up for the night. Thanks, bye.
No, we need more Wing Commander. More Wing Commander. So here we have...
And, alright, now try to lose properly like a normal human being, okay? Can you do that for us?
Waypoint reached.
You bore me.
Skip her.
Colonel, be advised the victor's pulling out of the system immediately. We need you to return, sir. Jump point in 90 seconds.
Alright, let's see if we can do it this time. Will we make it? Or will the war be won again in the Loki system? Earlier than expected.
The ancient test of courage.
Colonel, you have 75 seconds.
Interesting how they think you're going to play this mission.
Gosh, the mission's kind of like a whale shark with all those dots.
What's weird too is that Dreadnought, not a lot of turrets I noticed. It's not exactly super fierce in any way to make it seem like a super boss ship or anything.
Okay, but why did it... Right, there we go.
Need clearance,
Okay.
Trying to shoot it. Okay.
I requested clearance.
And we've flown them all.
Okay.
Need clearance, TCS victory.
There we go.
Alright. Well, that seemed difficult.
Yes, that was a pain. This comm systems were one of the things that really dragged down the console ports.
I'm glad you didn't let him suck you into that loose stop. Jumping out the second command.
Alright then, we've successfully managed to somehow land.
Who thought that would be the one we have to play twice?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, Blair could follow them. He isn't the Excalibur. He could have jumped after them.
That's true.
He could have jumped after them. You know?
Jumping to the Alcor system. And I was gonna end by pointing out that next week we get to fly the Excalibur for the first time, but we do get the first planetary mission. We get the return of John Rhys Davies as Paladin. Next week's gonna be good.
Command of the victory.
Oh yeah. This week was good too, you jerk.
This was a good week. It was cool to see that Dreadnought.
Yeah, that is an interesting.
Where we were going and when.
What a weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like it keeps the same essential style of the Dreadnought. It just by cutting it out and moving it. That's all. It just moves some pieces around.
Respectfully, sir. I resent such innuendos concerning my crew's loyalty. Battles are won or lost. There are never any guarantees. And at the time, she was your ship, sir.
Fight well, Captain. The struggle will only get harder.
Are you threatening me? Also, he left his staff. They don't seem to be there to get on the shuttle with him. And when he got here, he had a bunch of people with him. That's all I'm saying. Alright, well that is it for part of our program, but there's still plenty of Wing Commander to come.
There's another dip to go.
And I am successfully remembering that we want to go back here to slideshow viewer.
Oh yeah, remember you showed me that slideshow, the trailer.
Yes. So I also have, theoretically, somewhere. Here it is. This is a video that was posted to WC News the other day. This is a trailer for Wing Commander 3 for the 3DO, the game we were just playing, which was on Volume 5 of 3DO's direct-to-retailer advertising tapes. Remember back in the day, you might go to like Babbage's or Electronic Boutique or wherever, and instead of a computer set up to play a game, which would be incredibly expensive, they would have a VCR that was playing looped demos of a game.
So yeah, we've talked about this with the Wing Commander 3 one, and
so 3DO would every quarter would send a tape out of here's the latest and greatest from 3DO, and this one is interesting to other people because it starts off with all this stuff about the M2, which was going to be the sequel to the console that never came out, and it's got the full version. I've cut out everything with Wing Commander, but the full version, also.
For your delight. Just the creamy fillings, all you need.
The full version also talks about some games that were never released, like 11th Hour for the 3DO. But here is the 50-second Wing Commander 3 trailer I thought I'd share.
Team 3DO, we got it, they don't.
The heart of the tiger continues to jeopardize.
Let's launch all fighters. This is not a drill.
Here she is, one Hellcat 5. She's prepped, primed, loaded, locked, and ready to kick some ass.
Thanks. What about ordnance?
It's all taken care of. The captain downloads the mission specs to me. I dope out the weapons requirements, so you're set to go.
I am ready to engage.
Next time he stops the scream, hopefully that did not
Let's see what happens.
Break anything.
Let's see.
We just crossed. Meanwhile, hey everybody, that was indeed the trailer for Wing Commander 3 for the 3DO, as put together by the 3DO company.
It was just, it looked like it blipped for like a billionth of a second.
Okay, good. I actually pressed stop screen, which is an
because that looks like us sitting here looking panicky,
okay.
So I'm assuming that's still us.
Okay. Anyway, while we were watching the trailer, we were starting to talk about something interesting when we should.
Yes, there's Sebastian asks, does the Victory have any blast doors at all on the flight deck, or is it open all the time? And we started thinking, I don't believe so, but Kilrathi carriers seem to we get them referenced in there.
Yes, and in fact, this was something that was established early on, I think as early as Wing Commander 2, which is that the Confederation has reliable energy shielding that keeps oxygen in, but the Kilrathi do not. And I think it's first described in Freedom Flight. We talked about the big clamshell doors on the Ras Nakra, which is the Frothy from
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. You talked about them opening and closing. That's right. Yeah.
So Confed ships typically don't have big doors that open and close. The movie Tiger's Claw does kind of. It's kind of a weird design.
Sure.
But for the most part, Confed ships are okay just being open.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we're going to jump over to the cargo bay to take a look at something I think is pretty cool.
Yes.
Whoosh. All right, so I talked about this Italian Wing Commander book already.
Hey, my cousin Giuseppe, do you have a gift for me, huh?
On Monday, it was one of those ones with a tracking number. Those international tracking numbers that can take months or they can take a week or two. But finally, last week on Monday, it finally appeared as out for delivery. So I was sitting out there waiting for the mailman and waiting and watching the tracker. Mailman came and left, no package. Checked the tracker. Package is being held at the post office at the request of customer. And as customer, I was not happy.
Hey, what's going on, huh?
But Tuesday, I went to the post office. Everything was fine.
You stormed the counter. You may be on a federal watch list.
I was very polite.
He actually threatened them with weapons and bloodshed.
And it turned out that the guy had written something that it could have been a 4 or a 6 in the address, and they read it as a 6. And apparently, the people in House 6 had their mail being held, and there was a whole thing. I got it. It's here.
At least their mail was being held, so that way, it didn't get misdelivered. Imagine that. You'd have to go storm somebody's house.
First of all, and this is not the exciting part. This is a European
box.
It's a Mindscape release of the original Wing Commander. The box is largely identical to the US release, except there's a Mindscape sticker and the system requirements are in that gold sticker instead of the familiar Origin one. That's not so exciting, except that a copy of Wing Commander is always exciting. And I have such good luck in life looking at eBay auctions or listings or whatever for
Mindscape tape.
Mindscape, yeah. In fact, take one of the discs out of the label, slip one out and see, because it should. I bet the disc label is different too. I didn't even look at it.
So got the original band. I don't want to do anything wrong. Of course, they're upside freaking down this on the beach. Ooh,
yeah,
fancy.
Cool? Yeah, that's the European version of the logo on the discs, and I think that is better than the PC discs.
Bleep,
bleep, American discs.
Bleep. Well, that's it. You're getting thrown out of this country, you traitorist.
I think that's going to happen to a lot of people. So, yeah, European Wing Commander 1. But I have such good luck with auctions that are listing for Wing Commander 1, and then you go in and you see there's something else included with it. I got a Wing Commander demo like that recently. I've gotten joystick patch discs, all sorts of cool things that people just happen to shove in their Wing Commander 1 box and then show in an auction when they've forgotten about them. And
we will be giving away Wing Commander 1s for the next 1,000 years as a result.
Here it is. This is the Italian release of...
It smells like pasta.
I don't think that's racist, but it's not goodist either.
That's fine, I'm Italian.
That's right, you are Italian.
Whoa, what the hell? You're a little... Okay.
Yeah, it's a European, but...
Well, no. Oh, no, I'm just saying the cover...
the side comes off the side, yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to do that?
No, but...
Okay. For a second, I was like, I don't know how Europe is, man.
No, the glue comes loose in these European books.
I got you. That's like a known defect.
Yeah.
That's what you guys.
In fact, you'll see it's probably the same on this German one. Anyway.
Okay. I'm flipping through the first time. You keep talking. I'm going to...
We got to just show...
Show page. Yeah. All right. So it's September Blues. So this is the kind of beginning story part.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have...
In fact, if you want, here, give me...
We have that. All right.
That.
And I will try to find...
Try to find Annual 1. We'll show a comparison.
I was going to find September Blues, but that's all right, you jerk.
No,
because what's interesting is right off the bat, just flipping through this, the way this is... Okay, here's September Blues and this one, just so for quick reference. So, the same picture is there, just it's in a different place. But the beginning, just in terms of all of when you get right after you get past that, that's where you start to see some changes. I noticed because we don't get these first lessons and stuff. But all right, you want to go to Ennio 1?
Well, let me talk about the book first.
Fine.
So what this is an Italian translation of Wing Commander 1, the Wing Commander 1 and 2, show the book, the Wing Commander 1 and 2 Ultimate Strategy Guide.
Find the mission, show the book. Yes, Master, yes.
By Mike Harrison, which there has been an Amazon.it listing for this for several years, but no copy has ever been sold. It's never shown up on like a used bookstore online. We didn't know that it actually existed until now.
Here,
so
give me the book so I can hold them.
Yeah. So finding that in an auction was pretty exciting.
They're about the same size.
Yeah. The main difference between that and the PC version is there's some updates to the layout. It uses the same art, and it cuts the section at the end with the developer interviews. Here, give me those.
Okay.
We also have, just for comparison's sake,
the
German edition.
Achtung! Wing Commander!
Which redoes all the art. So this one does not reuse the various line arts and the mission diagrams. It
it uses more traditional aircraft-looking shapes.
Yeah,
as example.
But none of those big black cubes.
There you go.
So that has a date with a book scanner. We'll get the fully digitized one online for everybody. I think now that we've proved that it exists, we'll find a bunch more of them because we'll have like the ISBN and other information. But it's really cool to find something that we didn't necessarily know existed, even if it's just a translation of an official book. Yeah,
you never know what could be different.
And with that, I think it's time to get back to the Gemini sector.
It's time to get righteous. That's really not a good saying for 2020. It's be really cool in like 1997 though. Let's get righteous. Ow, yeah.
So let us know how the
let's check our sound.
Let us know how the sound for Privateer is.
I guess I could.
When last we left this game,
it was a year ago.
Yes, we have not played Privateer since beginning of December.
Mm-hmm.
But we had finished all but one of the. There are a series of missions in this game that you have to fly to prove yourself to Masterson at the library, or to his contacts so you can continue on. You have to play 2 out of 3 of them. We played them already, but we did not do the military one, and that's what we're going to do today. And we had left off at Perry Naval Base, everyone's favorite naval base, where we were going to talk to Sandra Goodin.
Wow, it's been quite a while.
Yes, it has. How are you, Captain Goodin?
The Navy's been treating me pretty good. In fact, I think I stand a good chance at promotion next month. How's the privateer business?
I was taking an extended vacation, but it got cut short. Someone ripped off my Steltec gun.
Sounds like a serious blow. Do you know who?
Not yet. That's what I'm aiming to find out.
Well, I'm afraid I don't have any info about stolen guns.
I know. I'm actually looking for work. I understand you guys have been giving a lot of contracts to privateers lately.
That's certainly true. With our forces spread so thin, we need all the help we can get. As a matter of fact, I do have a mission for you. Kilrathi activity has increased steadily in the last year. Many of our border bases are having a tough time of it. Niter, an agricultural base in the Niter.
Niter? That's not how I would have thought to pronounce it.
By the Kilrathi.
Yeah.
Fly there and defend it from
looking at it,
Kilrathi
it kind of makes
attack.
sense.
Then
I say it
return here for
Natir
10,000.
in my head.
Not
Natir?
much, but it
Okay.
should be pretty smooth sailing.
Okay.
All right, let's go defend a base. So these should be fun missions because we'll be fighting a bunch of Kilrathi.
This is going to be interesting because this first mission is kind of quick. Second mission isn't too bad. It's 3 jumps, but then the last 2 are both 5 jumpers.
Well, it sounds like we've got a bunch of folks in chat, so we can answer some questions and hang out.
We're gonna have some time.
Find out what everybody's up to.
Yeah.
Maintain speed and course for contraband search.
Yeah, because later you're going New Caledonia, Regulus. So you got
No
some
contraband
ways to
detected.
go. But yep, it's been a while since we've been. I like how you got 3DO first because I can imagine trying to go from Privateer to 3DO would not be the proper way of flight control systems. Like that's how you end up with bad things happening.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been so good.
Yeah. Yeah, because the feel of Privateer is so
very, very different.
Yeah.
And we're really playing the 3DO for display rather than for fun, so we don't have a nice controller set up. Alright, so this is the base defense mission. I suspect we're going to meet the Kilrathi here.
Yep. I hope you like Gothry.
I eat Gothry for breakfast.
Well, you're going to be eating a lot of them.
Ooh, overcompensating.
Sure. Gotta gotta get used to this now. It's suddenly gotten quiet in here without the sweet cacophony of keystrokes. It's now just smooth
the occasional keystroke.
Well, Sage, but Privateer is Wing Commander. It's just, you're not military. They are, yes. The sprites are very small. Yes.
Beautiful game.
It is it's a fantastic game with definitely years and years of replayability.
Was that it?
And then challenge. It might be.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I think it's just Gothries.
So there's a very easy mission. 2 Gothry.
Next one could be a little bit more interesting. You're going to...
Couldn't be less interesting.
Hyades.
Yeah, let's find out how that's actually pronounced. I'm going to say Hyades.
Hyades, okay. Yeah, Hyades. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, if you're going to put, like, weird names in a game, you should then have pronunciation somehow, too.
Maintain speed and course for contraband search.
Actually, I was thinking when we were playing Wing Commander 3, there's never been a canonical Wing Commander where the word Pacton has been pronounced.
Yeah, it's true.
Now entering
that's how we assume it's said. I'd say 75% of Kilrathi ship names are never spoken aloud.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I took any damage, but just in case.
Zartoth. I always loved the addition of the Zartoth.
Well, that's that. The Furball doesn't stand much chance.
Good work. You interested in further missions?
Possibly.
I need you to fly to Karen in the Hyades system.
Hyades.
Send it from a Kilrathi.
Hyades.
For 10,000.
How can you afford to be so cheap with such
a
shortage of
not
ships?
what I expect.
Believe
We're going to
me,
be
there
right
are
along the
plenty of
frontier,
hungry privateers out
it's
there.
going to get
But they're
lit,
not as good
as
as me.
the
Take it or leave
woke
it.
say today.
I'll take it.
Hey. No drunk people at Perry.
Say this is good and two.
Well,
good and plenty.
According to our local resident expert, he says that Hades should be pronounced Adis. Is that how I'm saying it right? Adis, the ancient Greek god of the underworld.
It's not Hades, as in the god of the world. It's
H-Y-A-D.
Yeah. Although maybe that is just another spelling of Hades. But she said Hyades.
That's how it's spelled. That's what Grego said that. So I'm gonna take his name. I'm gonna trust him on that one. Not some crazy lady out in the frontier.
And what do I want to go to Blockade Point Charlie?
Yeah, you're going to Blockade Point Charlie, then up to Hyades, and then we're going to Sharon.
Lone hunter to make friends with.
Nothing personal, but your death is my game.
More hunters.
Welcome to the happy hunting ground.
Jump into the blockade point. I always loved the full star systems that are blockade points. Like it's one of those little touches that we don't quite know what this means, but it has meaning. Obviously, the Confed does something to block the Kilrathi at these systems in particular.
I guess it's something like complete free fire systems. So if you're in here and you don't immediately have identification or something, like you're basically fired upon. So they'll fight even civilian Confederation ships that are in system. It's essentially, no one's allowed through here. They're essentially, capping the system from both ends and just allowing Confederation forces in there.
Unless you have a writ of Marquis.
There you go. Well, you better have it out quick, otherwise you're gonna get your.
I assume my transponder identifies me as a licensed privateer.
Grayson Burns doesn't have a license, man. Licenses are for nitwits and losers.
What's what makes you a privateer? You're just a pirate if you don't have one.
Yeah, well, Grayson doesn't care about that, man. One man's pirate's another man's privateer. Another man's privateer is another man's pirate, man. It's all big circular.
Your profile is clear to sector's edge.
Just run away. Run away. Run.
I guess I really don't have to run away.
Yeah. I'm trying to get us hit with a...
Is that a real song that exists?
Yeah. Run away from the pain. Yeah, that's... I believe... Is that Soul Asylum? Yeah, I believe that is Soul Asylum, actually. Not Runaway Train. No, that might be Runaway Train. Oh, it's one of those 90s songs. Oh, I mean, Toilet Genie's got a gun. That makes sense. Aerosmith. Yeah, I remember that part now. That's a good call. I just don't sound...
know you're stealing from it.
I just don't look at... Apparently, I don't know I don't sound like Steven Tyler.
Yeah! What, Liv Tyler's dad?
Now I'm getting Van Halen.
But Allie and I have made the mistake of working our way through Kevin Smith's filmography this last week or so. We hasn't been great.
Had a later mission. Commodore jump points.
What's that?
Oh, good. He said, a later mission you helped Commodore Uller seal a jump point, so where do the config get that this technology from the defeated Kilrathi?
Deadly blow. I salute you.
Yeah, Commodore Euler is the later confed mission, the little fleet you help fight the Kilrathi. You fight Cal. I don't know that it's actually closing the jump point, or more of it's just enforcing, similar to the fleet in the Wing Commander movie. I guess we'll have to see when we get there, but my memory is it's more like just we're blocking this jump point rather than we're physically closing it.
Sure.
This would be around the same time the Kilrathi had the ability to cloak a jump point. Even then, though, it's not. It's not that they're closing it; it's just that they're
masking it. Yeah, they're masking its signature somehow. Which you would think you'd still be able to activate it, though, if you line up like normal and then hit your drive, Unless there's some type of readings you need to take as you approach to, ensure you're properly entering it and all that jazz. Alright. Oh, hey! A little Kamek in your face.
Not head on.
Hey, let's not yet. Let's try to avoid that. I'm not sure how many KMX we've seen in our playthrough.
Couple, but not.
Yeah, not too many. I feel like definitely less than maybe 3 or 4 at most, if even that.
Yeah, not too many.
No, definitely not too many. You've definitely seen 1 or 2, but yeah, I don't think any more than that. And that's what always made them such a treat. And even in this game, cap ships are still kind of such a little treat, even though there's only 2 very small ones.
And I can never bring myself to attack a paradigm.
Yeah, it's hard to do those things. It's funny how with these type games too, how often
shield generator went down.
You find yourself unable to kind of break certain behaviors. Even if it's just for a one-off thing, just to see what happens, you're like, I can't really do this.
Even then, we were looking for that Corvette, or we were looking at the Dreadnought. I didn't want to intentionally lose the mission.
Yeah.
My cells screamed out, don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's funny, yeah. It's very tough to bring yourself to do those things. It's one of those games you can't, other games I can, Knights of the Republic, sure, I can go dark or light side, I don't care about that's fun. But on this, it's just very difficult to not keep watching. Is it a destroyer or Corvette? Well, that's a interesting question.
Good question, yeah.
It's a Dorvette. How about that? Or,
the manual does refer to it as both Corvette and a destroyer. But they are... Wait, are we talking about the frigate, or... Sorry, are we talking about the
Kamek, I guess.
The Kamek is called a destroyer at one point in the manual, but it's definitely a Corvette in Wing Commander 2. So, Either way, and this the same with the Paradigm. I believe it's called a destroyer somewhere, but it's called a destroyer everywhere except the actual file is frigate.iff. So it wasn't somewhere supposed to be a frigate.
So what I would say to that is I don't think there's anything necessarily oddly out of line with that. I would just say that's, Confed is not, the classification of it changes. Maybe, certain models, they add torpedo launchers, other models, they strip those off and instead have, extra guns or something. Yep. So maybe it changes its classification there, or it's just the intelligence isn't clear, and so they keep reclassifying it for some reason. I think those are all, probable solutions to that.
Yeah.
Jump all the way back.
Alright, what is here at this?
Your death will honor my name.
But it doesn't have to. I can just run away. That's the problem with these missions that are so deep in Kilrathi space. There's perhaps one nav point of actual enemies, but you're going to run into so many randomly generated Kilrathi. So I think that was what 3 or 4 Kamek are the actual only mission enemies.
You're about to suck void, buddy.
Yeah, I think it says it. It's funny, yeah. It just.
So what's going on in the chat tonight? Who's
they're
around? What are folks up to this weekend?
They were just commenting on the destroyer Corvette, back and forth on this. We're going to avoid being drowned in our own rainwater, which is nice.
Yeah, they as last night when we were setting up the show, they were warning us about these apocalyptic rains that we're going to be hitting right now, and it kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. It hardly rained on my way over here today.
What are you doing this week? Oh gosh, I hit something.
I
hit Confed.
Oh, that's bad. I believe I'm going to go finally see 1917 tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
But other than that, I'm not quite sure just yet. We'll see how the weather changes. Maybe go hiking.
I made a terrible mistake, which was
nothing personal.
Last night. Last night I was sitting in the living room with Allie, and I got a phone call.
You're not on my list.
Who calls anyone today? It's always
don't worry.
Some robot. It was from my dad, and I figured, oh my god, is something wrong?
Yeah,
that's your immediate reaction is, oh my god, what happened?
Yeah, because your dad doesn't call, dads don't call, at weird times unless there's something, they get better things to do.
So that's why I answered it, and then is like, will you come to the model train convention with me? So now I'm going to the model train convention.
Congratulations on reaching old manhood.
I am just assistant old manhood.
You're gonna, Allison. I expect to see a picture of you with a little conductor hat on, smoking a pipe.
Good work.
I have a conductor hat for my monorail, of course.
I presume you have some more missions.
Certainly, we've managed.
I wouldn't go in there telling those guys you're a monorail guy. They're gonna kick your ass.
On reducing the Kilrathi
one rail bitch.
Patrol the New
Take
Caledonia
your future
system.
trade and shove
Control
it right
all
up your
nav points and destroy all.
Well, I hope you
Kilrathi
make it out
vessels
alive.
You encounter. Return here afterwards.
You should go in there talking
the pay
so
is
much
10,000 again.
Look at you guys here, 2 rails.
Okay.
Passed.
That was very short dialogue. Okay.
Yeah, here, go to this mission. Get the hell out of here. Go to New Caledonia. It's only 5 jumps away.
That's a pain. It means we're gonna have to stop and reload and.
Yep, you're doing Tingerhoff, Nexus, Capella, Crab, New Caledonia, and then you get to patrol the damn system.
Patrol's not so bad in one of those smaller systems.
I don't know how many nav points New Caledonia
Tingerhoff.
has. Yeah, you're going Tingerhoff.
Tingerhoff.
Maintain speed and course for contraband search. No contraband detected. You may proceed.
Some people are going to see a concert.
What kind of concert?
Jobs. He has not said it. We'll have to wait 10 seconds. Gregos has a paper due, but he's watching us instead. So there you go. Your Nexus.
Nexus.
Yep. I got it right here for you. I'm looking at the map. I'm lined up, dialed in.
At least for this one, we're kind of heading over. We're not going to see as many Kilrathi.
Yep. But then we're also
going to
we're basically going to come right back.
Stick to established lanes for your own good.
We're going to take a slight detour to the south. So this time we're going kind of up into Ferris.
Capella next.
Yep, Capella. Yep, Capella, then Crab. Chris Reed's daughter Juliana's
Maintain
third
speed
birthday
and
is
course.
this weekend.
No contraband
The
detected.
years go
You
by
may
so
proceed.
quickly now.
Time does fly.
I mean, I hate to sound like a generic old man character in a sitcom, but...
You're going to a model train convention. You're already way past that point.
Yeah.
You're way past that point. I really do want you to talk smack to that though. I'm a monorail man. Oh, the monorail guys are in the back. With the bathrooms.
You're about to suck void.
I really hope there's like actual dirt and like bad blood between them. Like future train builders and classic train builders. Oh man, I hope.
I don't know if there are future train builders for one.
I
Before we get too far into this fantasy.
Oh man, I hope. Listen, you can have your real world experience. I'm gonna have my dream here. Okay. And in my world, model train builders hate each other based on the timeline of their trains. Okay.
I'm saving a galaxy from pirates, by the way.
Well,
So
aren't
stuff
you
to
just
do.
chipperoo, huh?
Is that a phrase?
No, I just figured we had time to kill, so I was going to say something long.
Alright, not got a couple of pirates on the way.
Yeah. Such a great citizen of the Confederation, you can't let pirates live.
Yeah, let one live.
2.
3. The problem is the systems respawn, so I'm going to be flying back. I mean, I'm not even going to be flying back this way because I'm going to have to do a land and reload anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yep.
Fuel, man.
Fuel low. Fuel
low.
Oh, shiitake mushrooms.
Of course this
Well,
is
you're
a
in
thing.
Ferris, man. You gotta figure that. Oh, look at that. That was a
nice takedown.
And an
yeah.
asteroid at once. I'm gonna watch it here again.
Damn you, Crab 12. Why can't you be more like Crab 11?
Crab 11 exploded. This is actually Crab 13.
Crab 13 may cause headaches, dizziness, gut explosion, Facebook.
Burning while you urinate. All the bad things. Just cruising our way through the crab. Yeah, the next two. Well. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. Goodin 5 is actually the.
You're finished, flyboy.
Okay.
Here's some classic retros.
So I was trying to check in to see what our future holds with this.
Can't spend too much time worrying about the future.
Yep. So I thought we had 5, but I forgot the 5th one is actually the final collection mission, not.
Oh yeah, we only have 4 missions for now.
Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah. So we have this long one, then another long one, and then yep. And then we're off to see what the future holds for.
Alright, what do we want to do here? Just 3 more nav points to patrol. This is and there, go ahead.
Your death will honor my name.
It's a trophy! Couple of misses on that trophy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the repetitiveness ever wears on me either. Sage Blue says, it's funny how we didn't mind repetitive things people say in Privateer.
Yeah, I mean...
You can make them lighthearted somehow.
I think it's because games... your brain rises to the level of how they are. So when it's 1980 and you're playing Pong, that's an incredible experience. And Privateer, for all its repetitiveness today, it was just so much more than other games that it really struck out as something special, and you filled in the blanks in your head. And today you can't do that. You kind of have to have these experiences that are so incredibly detailed and unique, and
with 15 side books to read beforehand to fully understand everything going on around you. Yeah, and you're definitely like the amount of the blank canvas of these games that we fill in, and each just kind of creates your own set of cannons for it, where earlier we were talking about with cap ships in Commander 1 how that it feels like this very big deal, where in 3 you run into a carrier like, oh geez, what the hell is this thing, like out of nowhere. You're like, okay, thanks for no warning or anything. There's not that same universe build-up to let you know that something important's about to happen, and this carries a lot of weight.
Yes.
Even this where, yes, we've all heard die by the very weapons you adore more times than I care to think about, but at no point do you really... Like, you're not annoyed, I don't think, ever.
Yeah, and if this were a new game, maybe you would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily like, pathetic. Even pathetic Descendant of Monkey's bug in Wing Commander 3 isn't... It's annoying, but it's not, like, infuriating.
The advantage is mine.
I thought you were trying to make friends with the base.
You die.
No, the hunter. Alright, so we'll land, we'll save. Between Goodins, check the bar, nothing too exciting. Oh, no repair here though, so.
Nope.
Now we've got to get all the way back to Perry.
And that's, true. Gregor says a good point. Like, when it comes to the retros, you expect them to repeat the things. They're indoctrinated. So they should just be yelling the same 5 things over and over again. Because they're crazy people.
Yeah, that's the
That sounds right.
Actually, I am always cautious of fandoms that do that. And you can kind of, if you watch like the Wikipedia with Star Wars, you see these like waves of it, like, oh,
We've got this sector by
and I'm thinking before the whole relaunch, but they're like, oh, there was an A-Wing on the Ewoks cartoon, but that's before the Rebel Assault said the A-Wing entered service, so, oh, that's actually a Spearhead class fighter that looks like an A-Wing. Like, don't do that, guys. Just accept that there's absolutely no way for everything to be in continuity and celebrate it.
Yeah. It's not real life, so these things are not actually happening in a real situation like that.
Wait, what?
Boy.
Spoiler.
Oh, somebody hit a rock.
Rock! Different game. Oh, hello.
love that asteroid spawn. He's lucky, I'll give him that.
Use. At least next time you'll have crab, but you will have Sherwood and Regulus, which I believe have
a bit of a hoof still.
Oh yeah, yeah. You just take a left at Capella. If we're being serious, that's it. The only difference of the two branches here. About that. Interesting. So you're not doing the trick just to get the hell through this, huh?
What's that?
You're being a trooper player here.
Yeah, I'm doing an actual. Because there's just one asteroid field. I don't need to risk it. Break my back right there.
Sure.
Let me just get through it as best I can.
Yeah, we have. Well, we'll always have content. We got content for days, weeks, months. We've roughed out.
There's so much content you won't even believe it.
We've roughed out a bunch of the next few weeks just to figure out when we end stuff. So we remember to make the next content.
Yeah, it's just finding the hours in the day. Most that's stuff we can talk about forever.
Yep.
Forever. But if there's anything out there you particularly want to see,
yes, let us
we'd love
know.
to hear about it because we love doing stupid Wing Commander stuff.
Yep.
We're working on that jump science bit.
We have a few big things. We have the jump science bit. We're gonna try to we want to do some Thrustmaster stuff. Show people the ridiculousness of what it was like programming your joystick in 1994.
Yes, and all sorts of cool stuff. I've got.
We're gonna make the Mac work one day.
We're gonna do the Dreadnought length argument. Yeah. We're gonna do it like Next Generation Measure of Man, where the DA is gonna be like, and if you argue 1 whit below your, make Commander Riker fight.
I'm sorry, but I have evidence here. The 3DO model, not 22 kilometers.
You're about to suck void, buddy.
Also, let us know what book you'd like to see us cover in the book club next. We've been talking about it, and we'd like some outside
input. Yeah, we're not
input.
really sure.
Do we go right to Wing Commander 4? Do we jump to Action Stations, to False Colors? Let us know what you'd like to see.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything in particular would bring you into the chat, we'd love to have more folks in the book club.
Yep. The Discord is always open. Let's see. Definitive analysis of the ion cannon.
Yeah, that's a good one. Add that to the list.
Okay.
It ain't your Star Wars ion cannon, that's for darn sure.
Nope.
Traitor to humanity, feel our wrath.
Yep, jump drives are in there as well.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna do a ridiculous experiment with a sheet and stuff that's gonna go horribly, horribly wrong.
Yes, in the Confed handbook, there's this great.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
Great, junior science experiment that's supposed to show you how jump points work. So we're gonna have Professor Alexis come in and teach us jump physics.
We're probably just gonna put a bowling ball through a floor.
It involves marbles and a bit of water. It's gonna be great.
Listen, no, marbles is bullshit. We're gonna get bowling balls and
speed and course for contraband,
rubber
sir.
sheet. We're gonna do this
contraband
properly.
detected. You may proceed.
It's like a long ass cruise.
Yeah, that was a lot for 10,000. I wouldn't work for a computer for 10,000. Like
Dr. Burroughs could perhaps narrate the experiment from the lab. I mean, he can't take time away from the lab, but he certainly could probably. I mean, science allows us to, video conference in.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dr. Burroughs lives on the other side of the Confederation.
Excellent. You really stuck it to
Yeah,
them.
he's on the western
You've been doing
frontier,
the Confederation a great service.
He's more. I believe it's the galactic side, the
I've got
core
one
side,
more
if you
mission
will.
for you. It's the
He lives
toughest
close to
one
the
we've
center
got
of the
right
galaxy.
now. We need to continue battling the Kilrathi presence in Confed space. Fly to the Regalis system. Patrol all nav points. Destroy all Kilrathi vessels. Then return here for 10,000.
Okay.
Regalis.
Sounds straightforward.
The Regalis.
See you soon.
All right, let's see. Goodin 4.
I don't believe so. Mufasa, planets and nebulas change from system to system in most Wing Commander games. Do they go as far as to change the star fields to match constellation views from different systems angles?
No, they do not. The stars are roughly the same. The skyboxes.
Yeah. Regalis is far. It is the same number of jumps as was New Caledonia.
Alright.
Which really should be New Caledonia, since there's already a New Caledonia today. It's the same. You go Tingerhoff, Nexus, Capello, and then at Capello,
Sherwood,
you go Sherwood,
Regalis. Okay.
Yeah. Regalius, movement of ja people. Doesn't work as well.
At all.
And today's Bob Marley's birthday, man.
No.
Bob would have been 75 today, apparently. Oh, yeah. You should know they really love him in Jamaica. Bob Marley.
We're also getting pretty close to the end of Righteous Fire. If anybody has a game they want to see next, or
well, we have to figure out how we're gonna do, when you do our Armada campaign, figure we're gonna start doing the sectors again. We have decisions to make. We have billions of ideas, but now we need to lock in the next parts, I guess. We did want to do the Armada campaign, although that we can do. That's like one of those things we can do on and off. It's not something that we need to do continuously, since there's not really a need to remember anything save how close are we to the other's homeworld. Yep, we're gonna do the super fancy Wing Commander playthrough, where we will play Super Wing Commander.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wearing monocles and overdressed, perhaps. Shirt and tie. It's gonna be black tie. We're gonna have martinis. Wonderful.
Let's rather go for martini.
Yes, martinis. Well, it'll almost be cocktail season again once we get to summer.
Okay. Did you have fun at the Super Bowl?
To be searched.
Yeah, Super Bowl was a good Super Bowl. It was a good game.
No contraband
I enjoyed it.
You may proceed.
San Francisco can't celebrate early. Is there any way we can play Wing Commander Arena anymore? As a question.
Yes, it's still up and running. In fact, we played it in an early episode. That's another one we'll have to bring back at some point. It still works on Xbox Live as of now, anyway.
Yeah. Well, one day we can also try. Anything. Well, Privateer we've already done. Last summer, Sage was the summer of Privateer.
Yeah, we played through all Privateer, but
so if you
we'll
look
go
at
back
old
to examine
episodes,
anything.
Well, we can deep dive on things. But yeah, if you want to watch our big playthrough, go to the last summer's episodes, and it was the summer of Privateer, where we not only played through the whole of the original game and then started Righteous Fire, but then we also explored every single effing spaceship in Privateer 2, which has a lot of spaceships.
And that's one we'll certainly be visiting in the future, is Privateer 2.
Yep. Probably space it a little bit, though. Part of me feels like we should do, Prophecy and Secret Ops.
Yeah, I'd love to do Prophecy.
Like that way we could do like here's what it looks like at launch, and then later on say, hey, here, look at what fans have done in terms of the basic patches, even before the model upgrade package.
You're finished, Flyboy.
Yeah,
easy to get away from pirates these days.
Yeah,
engine upgrades make it.
It's been a while since I've played.
You're
Prophecy.
finished, Flyboy.
Next time I do Prophecy, I want to make sure to do the demo at the right time in the gameplay, because the demo is like part of the story that's cut out. But no, Prophecy would be really fun to talk about. The 3DFX test, we got to get the test running and then have a test competition.
Yeah, that was the day where, all of us were, you don't have a Canopus Pure 3D, you're trash.
Yeah.
You're trash. You're just trash. Just get out of here. You're trash.
Yeah, back in the day, Origin put out, before even the demo of Prophecy, they put out what's called the 3DFX test, which was a simple gauntlet where you fought the Kilrathi, Vaktoths, and Dralthi, and it only worked with 3DFX cards. They were gauging the audience, testing specific things that the developers needed information on. But you better believe that made the community furious, because not everybody had a 3DFX card yet. And I think a lot of us,
no, we didn't,
asked our parents for them that Christmas, but we couldn't do the test when it first came out. There are memories there. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot of heat back then. We can try. We're gonna do some Armada multiplayer. We'll just see. Maybe do some offline, outside the show test to see what Proving Grounds can actually handle before it explodes. Because I think we've always tried to kind of push it too far, too fast in the past tests, and just blow.
Yeah, we had some issues last time we played with everybody, but
yeah, we can do like an Armada sector battle against somebody, in chat and things like that. Certainly. Let's see what else. We'll probably get to the fan games, but not until after we've explored all of the regular games. We really want to kind of go through all the official stuff first, and there's so much of that that it's really hard to put kind of an idea when we get to everything, especially considering how long it takes us to do things and then we go back to things. Prophecy seems to be one that the crowd is interested in. And we could certainly do something like that where, there's a lot of things you can show off in different ways. Like, hey, here's the early set of it. Here's it without 3D OpenGL, and then here's all the stuff that it's kind of gone through, I guess, I want to say maybe 3 different periods of life. Original release form, the fan OpenGL patch days, and then now it's kind of entered its latest with the model upgrade package. In terms of the love that's been given to this game, that often sometimes I feel like does get kind of either forgotten as like the bastard game or not explored, when it's the one that most people I feel like have poured a lot of time into.
I hate to say it, but Electronic Arts was right, if cynical, that it was a hard sell to do, make people care about Wing Commander that's not from Chris Roberts. I think it's a fantastic game, better than many of the others in many ways, and it'll be fun to look at that and see.
Yeah, how
different it is and why, and we know it's another one where we know so much about the design of so much about the design of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the designers, like last week Billy was here and he worked on it, so...
Yeah, maybe we can get some of the guys to come out and talk.
But yeah, and you think back, what's people's biggest complaints? The capital ships didn't explode. If that's what you've got to complain about, well, I think that's not too bad.
I could tell this story 50 more times when we're playing the game, but I got to go out to Origin when I was a teenager. I was 17 years old, and they treated me like royalty because I ran the website and got to meet all the guys on the team. It was so much fun, and we went out to lunch at some Mexican place out there where Origin was, and they asked me, what is your big, we know you're a super fan, but what's your biggest criticism of the game? And I thought for a minute, I think, well, this is the cap ships don't explode. And, it was one of those, everybody was like, I told you! Because anytime there's something like that in a game, the art of making a game is saying what you want and then figuring out what's realistic and then going from what's realistic to what's actually happening. And obviously, either someone wanted the captures to explode and they didn't have time, or it was a debate that someone lost. It's every possible, everybody looks at things like, and one of the worst things on the internet today, and that's saying something, is this new pretending that people who make Star Wars are out to get you thing, where everybody's trying to figure out why the new Star Wars movie is secretly evil and was changed and so on. And look, somebody mentioned doing ADR in an interview. That means my version is true. Like, you idiots! I hate you all. Yeah. Learn more. It's so much more fun to learn about why these things work and what happened. But any creative process there were 50 different ideas and they had to go with one. And,
there's only so much time. Like, it's not some master evil plan. It's just that literally.
Yeah, it's never. There was one that was wrong. It was.
Yeah. Well, crap. We're crushed for time. Just shove it. Let's try this, try that, and asteroid. Sweet.
I hate you, game.
Privateer just slapped you. But yeah.
You're about to suck void, buddy.
It's not a good movie because, you rush something and don't have an idea of what you're doing and come in at the last minute. Don't give yourself more time despite the fact there's no artificial timeline. Like, Star Wars did not have to come out then, but that's that's the fun of it.
No, it's just such a, it's a new thing among terrible fandoms online that it is. There's a better version of this that's secret, and they're covering it up. And
you don't know about the J.J. Abrams, the other cut? You don't think that's real? I'm
sure there are work prints that are different.
You know that, the Colin Trevor or whatever, he actually filmed his entire version of the movie and it exists.
Oh, yeah.
It's out there. They just won't let him release it. You didn't know that? Look at this idiot. He has his own show? God, you're stupid.
Yeah, and we are fascinated by things that never were, for sure, but not in the same way at all.
What do you mean? I've played Privateer Online.
Yeah, it's great to learn about Privateer Online and what they were thinking and what happened, but ultimately, it's not a case of this would have been the right thing, or this was great and everything else is out to get you. This was. I wish the world could go back to that a little bit.
Whatever, dude. I've seen all the points. That's it. You know what? Tarkus said point. One thing that irked him about Prophecy was emphasis on being better than your wingman. So when you get to your post-mission, you're debriefing in that game, bonus gets 70% of kills and things like that.
Yeah.
And then Vermin actually had a kind of an interesting point that maybe that's trying to prepare for the multiplayer mechanics.
It definitely was.
Okay. Well, shove that in your pipe and smoke it.
Although,
Duel of Fate fans, real fans, not that...
This actually harkens back to something from the very start of the series. One of the things that Wing Commander 1 was occasionally dinged for in reviews and in focus groups was no score. Back then a game told you how many points you had, and it was outside of the game. And Chris Roberts didn't want anything like that. He wanted... your score is your kills. You don't have...
Arcade,
You got 50 points for this. And Wing Commander 1 has a massive scoring system, but it very definitely hides it. You don't see your victory points and medal points or any of that.
Watch the screen, too. Don't crash in an asteroid in the last minute here because you're tired. You're looking at me. Next thing I was like, oh my god, was it a rock? But yeah, because it hides in the medal system. You get you're awarded points in a different way, and your rewards for scoring high. Transfer of squadrons, getting medals, things like that.
So for Strike Commander,
let me know if you hit trouble in my corner.
There was this. Okay, you have to have a score for this game. You have to have a traditional score, and they met the letter of the law on that. At the end of Strike Commander, it will tell you how many points you have. They don't mean anything.
Nice.
You don't know how you got them or how you were getting to that point, but it does give you a score. So there's always been this sort of balance between in-universe...
You're in Capella.
In-universe, this is how, you're not playing a game, you're on a space carrier.
Yeah, it's because you're trying. It's a difference in creating immersion versus like an arcade game where you're just trying to rack up your score as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Where this is, you're trying to complete the mission, the story. It's bigger than that.
And I think the sadder side of those little achievement type things, and gosh, it's even worse today, isn't it, with achievements?
Job right there.
Yeah, true that.
Nice job right there.
The even worse thing.
Unless there be a billion guys here, of course.
The worst thing about that, I forgot what I was going to say. The worst thing about that kind of scoring. What was I saying?
So let's talk about arcading, and then this has you're building story and all that.
Nope, totally blank my mind.
Oh, that's normally what I do. You're going to Nexus. But yeah, we were talking about the difference between how arcade scoring, you're trying to do just scoring points, whereas in this, it's not about the game is not centered around getting a high scores. Instead, completing this story.
Yeah, it is still centered around getting a high score. I want to get the most credits. I want to finish the missions, but they obscure it in this layer of world. So it's not. I'm trying to get 10,000 points to get my weapon. It's I'm trying to get $10,000 to earn my weapon. It's
a different mechanic.
Yeah. Alright, go to Tingerhoff.
Tingerhoff.
You're about to suck void, buddy.
Story a live save directly in the weapon. That's a very Captain Miller way of thinking, if you will, right? Captain Miller thought that every guy that he lost could have saved 100 guys, 1,000 guys, 10,000 guys.
Let me know if you hit trouble in my quiet.
Gladius.
You shouldn't tinker the Hoff. I watched some bad movie with Hasselhoff. Something about trying to kill the Hoff. It's really not. It's like, hey, I'm a guy. I have some famous friends that owe me favors. It's like Caddyshack 2, except worse. A lot worse.
Cower before the claws of a warrior.
It's called killing Hasselhoff. That's what it is. It has the Ken Jeong from The Hangover. It has John Lovitz for some reason. It has John Lovitz. And everyone has
good work if you can get it.
It's like a meta film before meta films started being things. It's like picture
Keep your eyes peeled for trouble,
I forget. I think it's the last Dirty Harry movie, like Deadpool. Picture like Deadpool with David Hasselhoff.
Maintain speed and course for contraband search. No contraband detected.
Yeah, I know he fucks up the shields, but thankfully there's no combat, so it's alright.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I shut the shields down all the way. I'm sorry about that. I should have hit Shift S. I've learned that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. That's one of those mind-blowing things. We learn, like, wait, what the? You have to say these goddamn things.
You can see I can do it to. For years, I would turn it all the way off to.
Same.
Now entering an automatic.
Well, that just makes me feel less bad than I told you about the Saul Goodman thing. You said, yeah, I got it 1 minute later. Well, screw you, Shield Boy.
Well, Regalis is free from the Furball menace.
I've been informed. Excellent work. I don't have any more missions for you, but I do have a tip. The Confederation has posted a bounty for the death of Governor Manesh. You may have heard of him. He's done a lot of illegal dealing with the Karathi. If you ever come across him, destroy him. Come back here when you do, and I'll get you the 40,000 bounty.
Good deal.
Alright, so she leaves me with the message that I can get this bounty. I'm gonna head back to Oxford. Let's go talk to, before we end this for tonight, let's go talk to, Masterson, because he's gonna say, oh, you've got enough friends now. And then next time we play Righteous Fire, we'll pick up with,
yeah, it's
the
a good deal
informant and
because
such.
we didn't do this one time and it sucked. We went the wrong way through half the sector and it was like, wait a minute, we're not supposed to be going here.
Course for contraband search.
Oxford is not too far from Perry. 3 jumps. Where's news?
Do you think EA might pump something Wing Commander related out when the IP rights are coming up for release, or do you think
No
they might sell it one
detected.
day?
You may proceed.
What do you mean the IP rates are coming up for release?
I don't know. I'm just reading what I got typed in front of me, my friend.
EA.
Hello. You say hello to Tarsus's daughter.
Hello, Tarsus's daughter. We really enjoy having your dad chat with us all the time.
There you go. Hello. But it just, I don't know what he means by it.
EA has, even in the last couple of years, they had a mobile game they tried to make and then canceled. I think for every one thing about Wing Commander you see, there must be 30 canceled takes. I think it's possible we would see something minor at some point. I saw an article recently that was something like EA has plans to do 4 game releases in the next year, which is everything is slowing down in terms because games are so much bigger.
How's it going, friend?
I don't think we'll ever see a surprise Wing Commander style game from EA. I think they'll just sit on the rights. If for no other reason than they have Star Wars and they have absolutely no reason to anger Disney or to, if you're going to sell a space game tomorrow, X-Wing is going to be a lot easier to sell than.
Righteous judgment.
I mean, do you think some of it depends on how successful the Command & Conquer remaster?
Oh, yeah, I bet we could absolutely see something of that scale, a remaster of the original Wing Commander or of one of the full motion video games. Definitely. But I would not expect to see like a AAA Wing Commander.
Oh yeah, I mean at this point, I would love to see like a remastered complete collection.
I mean, but I think that what we're gonna find is,
I mean, I know that's a lot to ask.
For a project like the CNC remaster, it's its own worst enemy. It's from everything I've seen about it, which is not a lot. I don't have any inside information on it. But it seems like they're doing it right. They're taking their time. They're working with the community.
Yeah.
None of those things are good for the bottom line. Electronic Arts would very much like a way to turn out reissues of games, but I don't think the solution is going to be expensive bespoke remasterings as much as I would like it to be.
Well, I don't know, but how expensive is the CNC one? I mean, because it sounds like they're keeping the core. I mean, it's not like they're doing a lot of quality of life updates, I think, for the game, save for some minor.
Well, let me ask you this. When did you first hear about the CNC?
When I first hear about it?
Yeah, when did you first hear that Electronic Arts was working on that?
When they first announced it.
That was like a year ago, 8 months ago, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only guy in our Discord I'm in the CNC Discord as well, and when they have an announcement, I just usually share it over to us, but yeah.
No, my point is, it's been in development for a year or so. A year or so, which means you have been paying producers and artists and designers and so on for a year.
But I'm not sure how big it is either. Because my impression is that it was I don't know, but like a smaller team.
I mean, it's going to be a small team, but it's still
you're talking
money. About
hundreds of
thousands of dollars at this point, even if it's tiny, and there's good. You have to balance that against how much money is this going to make, and hopefully, what we should all hope is that it makes a whole lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of me kind of hopes that they're hitting it at that right time where, sure, like the people that were our age when it first came out, like they don't care anymore, but us now, we're far enough away where people our age have disposable income and all these things, or, they have the time for it and stuff. So even if, people just buy it to have it and, they instead just let it sit in their library forever. I mean, it does look pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie, but I am curious to see what they kind of do. At the very least, though, I think it's going to be a really great thing.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think they are doing it right, but maybe not in a way that lets them do a Wing Commander.
No, I think they're doing like a true good remaster. I mean, one of the coolest things is that they found Eva. They had her come back in and re-record all her lines, and they released this little video that compares her like back in the original, because like the files can be cleaned up so they're like they said all fresh, and so you hear her voice slightly change as she's gotten 20 plus years older.
And stuff like that is so cool and so neat and so perfect, and an investor will look at it and say, why didn't you just pay someone scale to record dialogue again? Why go through this money and why did they go through
there was somebody they couldn't find or they couldn't figure out, so they had to do it. They had to just make it up, I think. I forget what it was, though. Mm-hmm.
So we talked to Masterson. He said go to back up to the Nexus system. So we'll go to Nexus system, we'll save there, and then next time we will talk to Monty.
The full Monty.
It's our plan. How are we running tonight for time, by the way?
We're at 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 18 seconds.
Yeah, not so bad.
Not too bad. Righteous Fire is one that you don't think it's going to take a while, but it actually is always.
There's so much traveling around.
Mm-hmm.
No contraband detected. You may proceed.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Don't worry, I only kill for a fee.
Yeah. But no, I do think they're doing
speed
it
and course for
really
contraband
well.
search.
I hope it
No
turns out
contraband
well,
detected.
And I can bleed
You may
into us
proceed.
in some way,
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah.
And anything I can do to help, I would be glad to. No fee. But
no, I will take this for him. Shut up. We're a team. I'm his agent. I do negotiations. He got hit in the head with a baseball the other day and forgets things every now and then. Like he forgot his train of thought earlier. See? Evidence. Second, I was like, don't you dare crash, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But apparently it was loading a paradigm.
Yeah. Well, hey, something.
Stick to
One man's
established lanes for
paradigm,
your
another
own
man's dime.
Unfortunately, Electronic Arts owns Wing Commander and Privateer outright, so there's not going to be a point where it reverts to anyone better. Chris Roberts owns the TV rights and the movie rights, but again, similar to Electronic Arts with Star Wars,
there's no point to put it out right
no
now.
point to do that when you have Star Citizen, which is so much more popular today than Wing Commander. Oh gosh, what do we have here? Oh, it's one of those stickers.
Give me that sweet keystroke
I
sound.
only kill for a fee.
Terminator, I just watched that earlier. Showtime is really going all. It's
bad day for him.
Apparently February is Arnie month because they're giving me T1 and T2. I've seen the Running Man mixed in. Last Action Hero, which I've now watched twice, which is...
You seen the new one yet? The Terminator Dark Fate?
No, I was actually thinking about that the other day, and then I was like, wait a minute, where did Fios put it on here? Did it already rotate it off for Ford vs. Ferrari? Because we were talking about the other day about how it was on there, and I hadn't gotten it. I should do that. It watching the other term did make me want to see what the deal was. I will have to do so.
Darn asteroids.
That's actually, well, this is kind of more for so when I was with my doctor today, I was telling them about good movie theaters in DC and how they don't have the ones you see out west like Cinnabar and iPad.
Now entering
and
an
he mentioned
landing zone.
Atlantic Plumbing.
Okay.
Which is like I guess it's like a similar. It's like a thing you can get food and beer and all that type stuff. And yeah, it's called like Atlantic Plumbing.
Huh. There's an Alamo in.
Let me make sure it's.
So here we are at. There he is. His label is sociologist. We've already been told his name is Monty. But here we go. That is Righteous Fire for the day. And next time in a couple weeks, we'll be picking that right back up. And with that...
Oh, jeez, I know. I drive by that. Oh, wow.
Here we are at the end of our program.
The end of the show.
Yeah, sign the book. Flight log.
You've all got to go because we have Picard to watch.
Yes, we're on to Picard again.
Where things should be moving.
Okay.
A Capshi.
I drew it a Capshi.
But I hardly knew her.
Because I started to draw Pac-10 and it went badly.
Dude, you could have got the other pen.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I think you're hung up on some things that are actually movie magic. You don't actually have to write.
Shh, really? But then how are we going to autograph this when we send it to It's a Wrap?
Is that a thing? Okay.
Yeah, that's what the auction thing's called. It's a Wrap. Get it? It's a Wrap! Like it's a trap and it's a wrap.
All right, we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Clyde.
Hi, I'm Dr. Clyde Burrows with the Omnicron Institute. Now that we know that Kilrathi's Straka stealth fighters exist, we can start to study how they work, bending visible light around the ship to create a pocket of invisibility. In real life, stealth aircraft are a little different. Planes like the F-117 or the B-2 stealth bomber are designed in such a way that they are incredibly difficult to identify with traditional radar. They use flat, reflective surfaces and are radar-absorbing material so that they can't be pinged by tracking stations. It's a form of camouflage that works on radio instead of with the human brain. Unlike the Straka, you can see them with the naked eye, but by that time, they're already too close. See you on the next exciting episode of All Wings Considered.